Then that be by one blood, one blood, 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 one blood, one blood, 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 one blood. All right. That's enough of that one blood. We here to talk about, Draco the ruler, YG, YG, Draco the ruler, Draco the ruler. They call him Draco the ruler, not Draco the jeweler, Draco the ruler. Uh-huh, uh-huh. Hold up. Okay. Hold up. Let's make sure we in the building first. We have to do a sound check. Man, y'all should have. Before we play that, we gotta play Lil Wayne since we talking about blood gang and all that. I gotta play something from Lil Wayne before we get into all this news. I gotta play something from Lil Wayne that he said. I seen that he said in a recent. I don't know if it's an interview. See, Wayne, he don't do regular interviews. Lil Wayne do them different interviews. That boy do interviews in a whole nother time zone. But hold on, let me do a sound check right quick. Let me do a sound check right quick. Let me do a sound check right quick. Like,
I built this website in 5.
Okay. Okay, I bet. We in the building there. What's up, everyone? Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday, my boy. Happy Thursday. Even though it's finna be another day and another hour over here where I'm at. Where y'all at? What area y'all in? Let me know. Yeah, the area I'm in is almost 12. No cap. Y'all let me know. I shot you out. Let me know who. Let me know who in the chat. Let me know who in here with me. What's up? What's up, gang? What's that word? Let me know who in here with me, man. Know I'm looking raggedy. Got to get me a god doggone shade, but it's alright. It's going down tomorrow. It's going down tomorrow. It's Friday. I will be getting a little shade tomorrow. We're gonna look ratchet tonight. Ratchet Thursday. Yeah, you're gonna call it Ratchet Thursday. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We're gonna call it Ratchet Thursday, gang. But we gotta get into this YG and Draco the Ruler situation. Then we're gonna get into this Nolan Wells situation. But first, I wanna play some on Lil Wayne what I saw the other day. I mean, well, it was earlier. It was early. My fault. My fault. I'm talking about the other day. Hold on. I'm gonna show y'all. Lil Wayne, that joker, he do interviews on a whole nother level, gang. I can't even cap you out. Let me exit that. I have to inside that other thing before I even show y'all. I don't even want that to pop up. They gonna play that music, and I ain't got time for hit me with that copyright shit. Hold up. Did y'all watch the versus battle? Who watched some of the versus battle? Let me know. Lil Wayne.
Yeah,
He do different interviews, bro.
he cooks
It's
in
different.
like
We're gonna get to the
their
news though.
kitchen, like the hotel.
Wait, so wherever you go, your chef just cooks in their kitchen?
Yeah,
Wow. Really?
yeah.
Why? Oh, you just because you don't want to eat the food from.
I don't eat. I don't eat.
He say he do not.
What do you
Lil
eat?
Wayne say he do not
Whatever I
sleep.
picked that day.
What do you?
I don't eat healthy at all.
What do you
I
eat?
bet you I eat less healthy than you.
I don't eat healthy at all.
I eat so unhealthy. It's
We can
disgusting.
tell,
I'm
Wayne.
ashamed of myself.
What did you eat yesterday?
I ate breakfast for dinner a lot.
Do you like cereal?
Yeah.
Aren't you blown away by how many unbelievable cereals there are? Like Frosted Flakes,
They got a bunch.
Cinnamon
though.
Toast
They
Crunch.
do, yeah.
honeycombs.
They do.
Like I can
And
do.
I don't even drink. I don't do milk, and I still eat cereal.
It's a great dry
What do you
snack.
put in?
I put milk in there. I just can't look at it.
What?
What?
Instead of pouring it to where you can actually see the
Oh,
milk.
yeah, yeah.
I
Oh,
just
you
put.
like it? Yeah.
Oh
the
no,
bottom.
I needed
The Wayne
soap.
do different
No, you
interviews,
want
man.
to come up and be above.
You want the bottom soaked with the top dry.
I don't want to eat it fast to at the bottom. Ain't even so.
Don't even put the milk in then.
No, you need the milk.
I need the milk.
You
Yeah.
find it hard to sleep at night?
I don't sleep
Ever?
You don't sleep?
because I work so much.
Yeah.
What time do you go to bed?
Look how he looked
I
when
don't
he
have
said
the
it.
time.
Well,
Wait, do you really not sleep?
No, I don't.
I don't.
How many
Like,
hours?
so,
No
so
hours?
tell me about this, because I feel like I've had trouble sleeping. What do you do? So are you up from like, let's say it's like midnight. You're like, okay, I'm gonna try to lay down and go to bed.
No.
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 So you're never trying to lay down and go to
No.
bed.
You never get in the bed ever?
No.
You never get in the bed?
That boy said he never sleep.
You know Lil Uzi? I want to tell you something.
He
so
never
crazy
get. That boy said he
Lil
never get in the
Uzi
bed. Who think
goes-
Wayne cap?
He was at the studio with.
Wayne said he never got in the bed,
He
gang.
goes and he sits in his car and they drive him around for 2
Who think
hours.
Lil
and that's
Wayne
when
is
he
cap?
sleeps, and then he just comes back to the studio.
Do you ever sleep when you're being driven?
Nah, I don't know that life.
How do you
Oh, so you're
relax?
just awake.
Huh?
How do you relax? Like, how do you like? You have to have like. When are you like? You know what? I'm gonna take
I
a
work
deep breath.
privately, so like meaning out my studio is my home,
Yeah.
and so
When you say
that's
you work,
relaxation for me.
are you working 24/7?
Yes.
But you nap though, right?
He does.
Yeah, because
Some
You
music all
are
the time.
writing
I don't
24/7.
write.
No, he doesn't write anything.
Recording, yes.
Yeah.
Recording.
You have to understand that I signed my first contract at 11.
Yeah.
Started doing this around 7 or 8. There's not 1 second has it been a job. It's been
It's like
something
how
I
you
decided.
experience the world.
It's something I actually made a living out of it. I just told you I started at 7,
Yeah.
8. So
That's
I'm
crazy.
doing what I started
Yeah.
at 7 or 8. So
Yeah.
it's still a kid in a toy store.
You're so
That
happy.
kid does not go to sleep.
That's
That's
crazy.
the last thing that kid wants. It's like, what bedtime? My chef claims that he heard a little girl while he was cooking.
You trust your chef?
He cooks in like their kitchen, like the hotel.
Wait, so wherever you go, your chef just cooks in their kitchen?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
Really?
crazy,
Yeah.
man.
Why? Oh, because you don't want to eat.
Wayne be on a whole another level, bro. That nigga say he do not sleep. And you can tell he don't sleep. I was so damn booked. You can tell he don't sleep. But let's get to this YG thing right quick. Let's get to this YG thing right quick, man. Will YG go down? Let's go.
YG is being accused of murder.
I heard niggas saying YGK. Stop lying, nigga. It's your boy Music 101.
Let's
the
get
Street
into it.
Reporter. And I'm back with another video. Let's get into it. Rapper YG was detained Thursday morning while authorities executed a search warrant connected to the ongoing investigation and the murder of Drakeo the Ruler. According to TMZ, YG was questioned by investigators but was not arrested and was later released. California Highway Patrol led the investigation with assistance from the Burbank SWAT team. They served a search warrant at around 7 a.m. on a property that's connected to YG. Law enforcement detained YG while officers secured and searched the property. Authorities later confirmed that he was released after questioning and was not arrested. At this time, the investigators have not announced any criminal charges in connection with Drakeo the Ruler. The search warrant was tied to the December 2021 killing of Drakeo the Ruler, who was fatally stabbed backstage at Once Upon a Time in LA Festival.
Well, in developing news this morning, rapper Drakeo the Ruler was stabbed to death after a backstage fight at an LA music festival Saturday. Police say the 28-year-old was fatally injured with an edged weapon and died after being taken to a local hospital. Drakeo was among dozens of artists scheduled to perform at the Once Upon a Time in LA festival. After the incident, Live Nation and Snoop Dogg, who helped organize the event, decided to end the concert early. Officers from the LAPD and California Highway Patrol, some equipped with riot gear, kept a watchful eye on audience members as they evacuated the area. They were determined not to see a repeat of the recent Astroworld tragedy where fans were crushed in a panic.
YG and Drakeo had a well-known public feud before Drakeo's death, but YG has consistently denied any involvement in the killing and has never been charged. Now, YG recently dropped a song called We Know the Truth, denying any involvement with Drakeo the Ruler Death. The intro, it started off by saying, breaking news, rapper YG is being accused of murder. Apparently, this took place right here in his hometown. Police officers said they are looking for more information. Him or his team have yet to make a statement. Verse 1, he said, they say I murdered this, they say I murdered that. Well, if that was true, you'll be a ucking rat, and I'll be in a cell sleeping on the rack. Hey, but too bad that ain't a ucking fact. All that talking on the ucking app, these streets done, it's a ucking rap. They want to see me fall, the city whack. Same wiggle once brought the city back. I got paid $600 for the show. So why would I tell a wiggle to uck it up though? And that's a fact. You should know. Slim just died. I wasn't worried about bro. I came to get dough, was finna hit the stage. Then I heard how y'all heard somebody got hit with a blade. Y'all wiggle saying YG paid. Stop lying. Wiggle run, YG fade. He went on to say he don't even know how he ended up in the beef with Drakeo the Ruler. And Drakeo the Ruler was beefing with somebody else, but that's another story for a whole nother chapter. And basically, he had war. For the people that's wondering, what triggered the police to investigate YG and why now? Some people feel like it was his song, while others think it was Poetic Flacco's video he dropped 3 months ago, claiming he know who killed Drakeo the Ruler and that YG was the mastermind behind his death.
The murder of rapper Drakeo the Ruler has been unsolved until today. Because in this video, I'm revealing the name of the person who killed Drakeo the Ruler.
What do you mean? How? How have you... Oh, man.
I'm revealing the face of the person who killed Drakeo the Ruler. And I'm breaking down in grave details how they were able to kill Drakeo the Ruler at a packed-out festival.
Oh, they're talking on the fucking app.
Munchie B and England family nothing to do with that. Then why is Munchie B so passionate about this and is causing this much trouble and dissing me over a potential video that don't even exist yet?
What was I trying to do, Munchie? Well, if Munchie B don't want to give the world an answer as to why he's so upset I'm doing this video, then I'll give the world the answer.
How many people think YG did it?
B is so upset is because the person who killed Drakeo the Ruler, the person who took the knife and actually stabbed Drakeo the Ruler, well, that person is really close to Munchie B. But of course, I'm not saying anything new because Munchie B slipped up and said on Clubhouse that he passed a bottle to Drakeo the Ruler's killer almost every day.
Yeah, bro. Hey, bro. Draco is dead, bro. Hey, bro, the nigga that killed Draco, I passed the bottle back and forth to him all the time. What are we talking about?
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
See, that would be saying nigga be
I'm
talking.
glad you did that, Munchie. I'm glad you were dumb enough to confess that your homie is the one who killed Drakeo the Ruler. Now, unfortunately for you, I got his identity, his name, and let's expose that right now. When Drakeo the Ruler was initially invited to the festival that he lost his life at, he was skeptical. He was reluctant to go. Because when you look at the flyer for the festival, YG was also set to perform. And obviously Drakeo and the world was well aware that while YG was discussing Drakeo the Ruler on No Jumper, YG told Adam 22 that he's not doing no rap beef with Drakeo. Right? Him and his dudes beef for real. And if it's beef, which it was with YG and Drakeo, him and his dudes is gonna come and get you.
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon.
Drakeo understood that was a threat towards him, and that YG was publicly stating that they're gonna come and get Drakeo.
Like, people be knowing, like, if you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. I'm not finna be going out there doing no rap diss. It's like, if it's smoke, it's really smoke with us. We ain't playing, you know? So, like, I'm gonna tell the homies the same shit, bro. I done told D3 that, like, we ain't doing none of that weird shit for nothing, for the rap. No, we not on none of that. We trying to make hits. We can move around, get rich, have fun. All that rap beef and all that shit. We not rap beefing, we really beefing. The homies gonna get you.
FBI, open up!
Now, the crazy part about this whole situation, just 6 days ago, Adam 22 revealed that the police came to No Jumper trying to speak to him and Munchie B about Drakeo the Ruler death. And 6 days after that, YG, the alleged mastermind, get detained and questioned about Drakeo the Ruler death. And 3 months before that, Munchie B confessed that he passed
shit. I ain't running or shying away from them because I ain't.
I mean, okay. I'm gonna lay out the whole timeline. Then I'm gonna say what happened, and also what I'm about to say might be the reason why this podcast is cut short. Perhaps.
Yeah, we'll see.
Hopefully not. But okay. Today at 11 a.m., 11:30, they're back. Same dudes, plain clothes, driving like a regular truck or something, I guess. And they again approach Josh and for some reason offer more information. They say, we're looking for Munchie and Adam, and that we're looking for them because we want to have a conversation about an investigation that we're doing into the murder of Drakeo the Ruler, which was, I mean, I can only speak for myself, was mind-blowing to me.
And you wonder why they coming up there, though.
Drakeo the Ruler death, one of his friends went live and
Y'all be all there
basically
talking up
blamed
there.
YG for his death.
I'm speaking facts, bro. YG in real life, all them niggas is become a and all this puff talking like they hard, bro. But we fight big ass security. You got those security guards fighting. Come on, bro. That shit ain't cool, bro. On my mama, bro. The security guards snuck in knives, all type of weird shit. Let them come 70 thick, but only told us we only can bring 15 people, bro. That don't make no sense, bro. You only told us we can bring 15 people, but let them bring 100 more people, bro. Did you? Bro, I'm so hot, bro. I don't give a bro. I'm sliding, bro. YG can't perform in LA no more, bro. I don't give a who feel about what or anything, nigga. I don't care. Cause I know this is gonna be an open case and stuff. Like y'all ain't feel no weird vibes when y'all went in. Like no, like bro. I'm gonna be honest, fool. On 30 Crib, when we first came in, you know, we was there certainly there early, so it was cool. Like it wasn't no tension. Like, but YG and it wasn't there because they performed later, fool. So you know what I'm saying? The nigga came in. As soon as he came, it went bad. Basically, like, you know what they was doing, bro. It was a whole setup. It was a setup, bro. My mama, the whole shit was a setup.
But y'all get in the comments and let me know, man. Do y'all really believe that the police got any information or evidence that can connect YG to Drakeo the Ruler death? Or y'all think they just trying to shake things up? Get in the comments and
I
let
don't
me
know.
And if
If
you
they
enjoyed
keep
the
coming,
video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe.
if they
turn on
keep
all
coming
those
back like that,
notifications.
it's something. I ain't gonna count. If they keep coming back like that, it's something. That's all I'm gonna say. Hold up. We got one more clip on now. Hold on. Let's play this one right quick. Let's see what the family got to say about this bit right quick. Let's see what the family got to say.
When the family feels, but I'm not finna be going out there doing no rap this and shit, cause like, if it's smoke, it's really smoke with us. We ain't playing, you know?
The gram, I thought that if I dish you, it'd give me some more fans. Boy, I'm truly sorry why you RP my friend.
We ain't doing none of that weird shit for nothing, for the rap. No, we not on none of that. Nigga, we trying to make hits. We gonna move around, nigga, get rich, nigga, and have fun, nigga. All that rap beef and all that shit. We not rap beefing. We really beefing. The homies.
He's a rapper, but I made his hit rock and roll. Cold devil, I'm walking through here with chinchillas on. They gonna drop you.
What's going on? They're like, yo, this is crazy. Like, people are just rooting for you. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of people who wasn't rooting for me.
Who wasn't rooting for you? I'm not saying to say names, but like
Drakeo the Ruler.
The older dudes. The people that have been in the game for a minute.
And they got a T-Pain voice.
Yep.
Then they got a T-Pain voice. You would have thought that was T-Pain.
Free YouTube and the YouTube Music app all together.
He don't even look like he would talk like that. No cap.
One subscription.
Man, come on, man. Do not get
Well, a man
YouTube
is
privilege.
reported
Watch
dead
all the
after
ads.
being stabbed
on
at
my
a
channel.
concert in Exposition Park last night. TMZ is reporting the victim was rapper Drakeo
What's
the
up, Purple
Ruler.
Flower? What's up, everybody in here?
2026.
Salute to everybody in here.
For me doing this video, the rapper YG is supposed to be
Y'all
prepared
get me
to take the stage
20
against
likes.
fellow Compton rapper The Game in a highly
That's the night.
anticipated versus
I watched some of it
Just a few
tonight.
hours before the event, the attention shifted away from the stage and towards a homicide investigation
Oh, we got
that's
it.
remained unsolved for more than 4 years now.
Oh, this was right
Earlier
before
this
the
morning,
versus
LAPD
tonight, gang.
reportedly detained YG while executing a search warrant connecting to the December 2021 killing of Drakeo the Ruler. YG was detained. At this time, that does not mean he was arrested, charged, or even proven responsible for Drakeo's death. But after years of accusations, diss records, street tension, and unanswered questions, investigators showing up at YG property naturally caused people to ask, what changed now? Why are authorities revisiting this case more than 4 years later? Did something finally happen behind the scenes that finally caused investigators
They
to
been
act?
saying
Before we
YG
go
did
any
it though.
further,
This
check
ain't
this
nothing
out.
new. They been saying YG did it. They been saying that. This ain't nothing new. They been saying YG had something to do with that. But ain't no way he gonna. You think he just gonna turn himself in? You think he gonna say, "Yeah, I did it"? He gonna make them do their work. He gonna make them work. And they talking about 4 years. The Fed. One thing about the Fed, or the police. One thing about the Fed, they don't even. Bruh, they don't tell you they
And
building.
once
They
again,
can
that was
build
the
for
footage
years and
reportedly
years.
showing YG being detained while authorities carried out a search warrant. We still have to be careful about the language we use, fam. A detention is not an arrest, and a search warrant is not a conviction. And investigators looking into somebody does not automatically mean they believe that person personally committed the crime. But this situation did not begin today. The tensions around Drakeo and the people connected to YG's circle has been building for years before Drakeo
What I
was
just
attacked
said.
backstage.
What
There
I
was an
said.
interview where YG made it clear that he did not want Drakeo's name mentioned around him. There was Drakeo refusing to sign with DJ Mustard, and Mustard helped introduce him to a larger audience. There were diss records, neighborhood politics, and claims involving the shooting of YG outside of a recording studio. Then Drakeo released another song directly disrespecting YG. Just 1 month later, Drakeo was killed. Today we're gonna walk through this entire story. Who Drakeo the Ruler was, how he became one of the most original rappers in California, his connection to YG and DJ Mustard, the tension that developed between the two sides, the interview where YG warned people not to mention Drakeo, the diss record Drakeo released afterwards, and the allegations Drakeo made concerning YG being shot. Not to mention, in the newly released album, YG addressed everything, his involvement or not, in the night Drakeo was surrounded by a massive backstage crowd and fatally stabbed before he could perform. But before we go over this one, I want you guys to remember, I don't give you no angle. I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We'll jump right to it. Hey, listen. If you ever wish payday came sooner, this might actually help. It's a banking app called Current with a bunch of useful tools.
Man, come
and
on,
one of the
man.
main tools lets you access up to $750
Nah, we good. We good.
of your paycheck
Hold
in
up.
advance if you switch over with Current.
Nah, we good.
Automatically unlocks the $75. Make sure you go through the full sign-up process so you don't miss out. Let's check out.
Was that a song that you felt it was necessary and the timing was right now?
Yeah, no, for sure. Like, yeah, it was necessary for sure, and the timing was for sure right now, because it's like too many people was like, it's just too much going on, like, and you know, I'm like, street all the way, law, live by it, so it's like, it's certain things, like, you don't even speak on, you know what I'm saying? You don't talk, you know, so that's what took me so long to just say anything, because, like, nobody talking about that, like, you don't even, it's certain things, like, you don't even talk about, you know what I'm saying? If you ain't involved in it, or whatever, it's like, you don't even talk about that, so, but it's like, I'm only finna take so much, you know what I'm saying? People saying whatever, family tapping in, like, all this, and it's like, nah, bro, like, nah, I gotta say something.
Did you feel like that's the song where I'm going to address this once and everything is in there?
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure, and it was like, I'm finna say something, you know, but it's the Gentleman's Club. I'm gonna be very respectful. you know?
Fam, that was an interview that YG did just 3 weeks ago on a Big Boy radio show. He addressed the recent music he put out, a song that he also dedicated to Draco's murder, where he adamantly denies his involvement. For those who wondering who is Draco the Ruler, real name Darrell Caldwell, was born December 1993. He grew up in the Westmount section of South Los Angeles, an area surrounded by poverty, violence, and multiple long-standing territories. Draco barely knew his father. His mother, Darlene Carnell, worked as a preschool teacher and raised her children under difficult financial circumstances. Draco reportedly told people that his family was one of the poorest families on the block. But even when he was only 4 years old, he would tell anybody willing to listen that one day he was going to be rich. His early life was far from easy. According to journalist Jeff Wise, Draco was arrested at 12 for taking $1 from a tip jar. At 15, while he was still a freshman in high school, he was struck during a drive-by shooting. The shooters were never caught. After that incident, Draco reportedly began carrying a firearm because he believed he needed it to protect himself. But that led to more problems. Juvenile detention, burglary allegations, gun cases, and repeated contact with law enforcement. But music eventually gave him another direction. Friends around Draco believed that he had a gift. With every freestyle, his sound became more original. Then in 2015, Draco gained serious attention after releasing Mr. Get Dough.
But I'm not hops on my knots. Mr. Get Guap, that's Mr. Get Dough. I am Mr. Mouse. Walking.
Now, DJ Mustard had produced that record. That was his beat. That record would also connect him at that time to two major names in Los Angeles. DJ Mustard, as you saw in the video, and YG. The YG and DJ Mustard connection, according to reports about Draco's career, YG brother helped bring Draco's music to DJ Mustard's attention. At that time, Mustard was one of the most successful producers in the industry and helped develop the sound behind several of YG's biggest records. Mustard supported Draco and helped introduce him to a wider audience. Draco's 2016 project, I Am Mr. Mosley, was presented by Mustard and helped establish Draco as one of the hottest rising artists in Los Angeles. But the relationship didn't last. Draco reportedly refused to sign with Mustard's record label. For Draco, ownership was independence, and that was extremely important to him. He didn't want another person controlling his music, his publishing, or his finances. That decision would become a major part of his identity. However, some people also view Draco as a possible replacement for YG within Mustard's musical system. YG and Mustard had already experienced problems in their own working relationship. Now Mustard was supporting another Los Angeles street rapper with a completely different sound. Whether anybody intended or not, comparisons started being made. Draco was younger. His music was spreading throughout the streets, and some listeners began saying that he represented the next generation of Los Angeles rap. Draco's relationship with Mustard eventually ended after he refused to sign, but the connection between Draco, Mustard, and YG had already been established, and soon the situation would grow beyond music.
So, how'd you end up hooking up with Mustard?
We all knew the same people. Like, I used to fuck with them. Like the army, I was on the case when we killed. We used to fuck back in the day when they had pushes and all the jerkins and all that. When it was Tab Third and Filthies and all this other shit. When all them used to like back in the jerkin days and YG, they used to wear skinny jeans with the fucking shoestring and all that shit. So I just want them. I just want his brother too, Cam. This one Mustard was DJ and skater rings like that, before everybody blew up. So I been knew them though, but I wasn't rapping they was doing. They take off and all that. So we still, but everybody LA. Everybody know the same people. So, well, I guess they reached out because the kid was every day he was fucking with him, using pushes all that. So they reached out to him oh yeah, what's up with you? But they don't even know he was just telling y'all don't remember him? He used to be around all the time, So we did the song, he remixed it. I put RJ on the song, and then it took off. I didn't think it was gonna be like that though. I was just all right, whatever. I did the song, people like it. I didn't think it was gonna be all right, now this is a stamp. Now I can move on from here. But yeah.
Okay, and that's Mr. Get Dough.
Yeah, Mr. Get Dough.
Right, and that was so originally it was just you.
Yeah, it was just me and Ketchup.
Right.
Catchy the Great.
And then Mud did the remix.
Yeah.
And he put RJ on it. That's it?
And Choice.
And Choice, okay.
All right, and Choice.
Got it. I mean, that song today is at 7 million views on YouTube.
Yeah, 7 million.
Yeah, plus all the other platforms.
Yeah,
that was like that. So then you signed under Mustard?
I didn't sign.
No?
No, I was just fucking with him,
okay.
Just fucking around, doing music and shit. But after that, I don't know, my brother and everybody was I don't know, maybe they seen something that I didn't see back then. So everybody used to just be nah, just wait, don't do nothing right now. just wait. Like, you got your own thing. Like, you might not see it right now, but like your shit is different, bro. Like, you got other shit. Like, just wait. Like, so I don't know. Like, shit started getting weird. Like, I don't know. Like, I guess I didn't want to sign. So then that's, I guess, when like people from his group and shit, like, guess they was mad at me because I didn't want to sign. So it started getting weird. Like, it started coming to like pull up at the studio session. Oh, we got whoop-de-whoop in here today.
Shout out
Like,
to Uncle
you know,
Mike.
come back another day. I started seeing the weird
Salute
shit that was
Uncle
going
Mike.
on, and it's just like, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just part ways, because like, if a nigga came for me because, like, just to fuck with me genuinely, then I'm not finna put you. Like, it shouldn't have to be like, oh, if you don't want to sign, then all right, fuck you type shit. Like, that shit, I don't know. So I started doing my own shit after that. Like, it didn't last that long.
All right, because your first mixtape, I Am Mr. Mosley.
Yeah.
Did that come out under the 10 Summers label or no?
I mean, it didn't come. I don't think it came out under that. I know he put it on there, like.
Yeah.
But not that I know of.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That part's kind of confusing.
Yes.
I was trying to figure that part out. Okay. So you drop your first mixtape, your first official mixtape.
Yeah, official mixtape.
And you have a big song already. So now you're kind of off to the races.
Yeah.
This was 2015.
15.
Then the next year, 2016, you dropped I Am Mr. Mosley 2.
Yeah, the second one.
Right. That had Mozzie on it.
Yeah, Mozzie.
Scheme,
G. Perigo.
Filthy Rich.
Filthy. Yeah.
And how does that one do?
It was doing pretty cool, like, and it's crazy because, like, a lot of people were saying, like, damn, bro, like, you did this without Mustard, like, but what kind of, like made it better because, like, LA, like, they never really seen no shit like this, like, so most people, like, they thought, like, oh, he ain't fucking with Mustard no more, like, he gonna fall off. But me, like, I'm my own type of person, I got my own lingo, like, it was different. So when people heard that, they like, damn, like, what is this? What does that mean? What does this mean? Damn, this shit hard, like. So then it just kept going from there. And then on top of that, like people used to see me in the streets, like, I really had what I was talking about. So it wasn't like somebody fabricating something. It's like, oh, this nigga saying this, but when he was working with Mustard, okay, yeah, like, Mustard probably did this for him. Mustard probably did this, but then you see, like, I'm not fucking with him, but I still got the same shit. I still got all the money. I'm talking about the cars, whatever, all this shit. Like, so people was fucking with that shit, like, yeah.
Okay, and then that same year you drop So Cold I Do.
Yeah, I did that.
Right. And was that like your biggest one at that point?
It wasn't really the biggest one, but Impatient was the biggest. Like,
right, the Impatient
that's when it
freestyle.
just, like,
yeah,
it just took off, and I was just like, wow, that shit crazy.
Then it was Draco style and the Sting Team. See, Draco did not sound like a traditional West Coast rapper. He created his own slang, delivery, and rhythm. He referred to his language as lingo bingo. His music was dark, unpredictable, and filled with coded jokes, luxury brands, weapons, and street references. Draco called it nervous music. It sounded like somebody riding through South Central in an expensive car while constantly watching the rear mirror. But one of the most important parts of Draco's story is that he repeatedly denied being a gang member. Although he grew up around people associated with Crip neighborhoods, wore blue, and made his sympathies clear, Draco said he'll never officially join the gang. Instead, he represented his own rap collective, the Sting Team.
Okay.
So he
and
so he wasn't a Crip
Was
then.
that sort of around by that time?
So he wasn't no Crip then. Well, he said he wasn't no Crip, but that how certain niggas be. They'll say they ain't in no gang, but they really be missing. They be dying with that shit. No cap.
Yeah, it started like around like a little after Michigan dog. I Miss Mosley too.
Draco reportedly believed that joining an established gang would place him under a person's system. He wanted to create his own, but in Los Angeles, refusing to choose a traditional side did not mean everybody would leave you alone. As Draco became more popular, the Sting Team became a target. There were confrontations, online disrespect, chain snatching allegations, fights, robbery attempts, and eventually gunfire. Cars belonging to members of the Sting Team were allegedly shot at. Draco's mother house was reportedly struck by bullets. Draco also exchanged disc records with Los Angeles rapper RJ, who was closely connected to both YG
so
and
if
DJ
you wasn't no
Mustard.
Crip,
The man
then why you
began
doing
as
all
rap
that
competition,
then?
and online disrespect reportedly became connected to a larger neighborhood conflict. And it was
Hold
the
up,
Red Bulls case.
hold
In
up.
2016,
Hold up, nah, if you wasn't no, nigga, if you wasn't no Crip, nigga, hold up.
Draco
Nah, if you wasn't no Crip,
most important parts of
Why in
Draco's
the world they
story
were
is
hitting
that
at
he
your high
repeatedly
like that?
denied being a gang member. Although he grew up around people associated with Crip neighborhoods, wore blue, and made his sympathies clear, Draco said he'll never officially join the gang. Instead, he represented his own rap collective, the Stink Team.
Okay. And the Stink Team, was that sort of around by that time?
Yeah, it started like around like a little after Mr. Dog. Iron Man Smokey too.
Draco reportedly believed that joining an established gang would place him under a person's system. He wanted to create his own, but in Los Angeles, refusing to choose a traditional side did not mean everybody would leave you alone. As Draco became more popular, the Stink Team became a target. There were confrontations, online disrespect, chain snatching allegations, fights, robbery attempts, and eventually gunfire. Cars belonging to members of the Stink Team were allegedly shot at. Draco's mother house was reportedly struck by bullets. Draco also exchanged diss records with Los Angeles rapper RJ, who was closely connected to both YG and DJ Mustard. What may have begun as rap competition and online disrespect reportedly became connected to a larger neighborhood conflicts. Then it was the
Nigga, you had something going on. You had something going on, Draco the Ruler. Want that. If they hit at you like that, they been trying to hit at you. Oh man, you had something going on.
Red
Man.
Bull's case. In 2016, December, Davion Red Bull Gregory was fatally shot at an adult pajama party in Carson, California. Gregory was reportedly associated with the Inglewood family Bloods. No one accused Draco of personally pulling the trigger. However, prosecutors later claimed that Draco and members of his entourage went to the party intending to target RJ. RJ denied attending the event. Prosecutors argued that after RJ failed to appear, members of Draco's group killed Gregory instead. Draco was eventually charged with first-degree murder, attempt murder from a motor vehicle, gang conspiracy, and firearm offenses. At one point, he faced the possibility of spending the rest of his life in prison. Prosecutors attempt to classify the Stink Team as a criminal gang. They also used Draco lyrics, social media posts, and hand signs as evidence against him. Draco and his supporters argued that authorities were confusing music, association, and performance with proof of criminal activity.
At a birthday party in Carson, 3 men were hit and one of them has now died. The shooting happened just before midnight in the 100 block of West Victoria Street. The shootout was just in front of the building that held the party. Deputies say as many as 100 people were attending what they describe as a pay-for-entry adult-themed party. A woman told us it was a nice neighborhood when she moved in 25 years ago, but now gunfire is very common.
Yeah, it's so bad that we go somewhere to where it's safe in our house to where we think that it's going to come through the window.
The identity of the dead man has not been released yet, and there's no information about the conditions of the 2 other men who were shot.
While incarcerated, Draco recorded an entire album over a jail telephone. That project, Thank You for Using GTL, received widespread praise. Draco eventually accepted a plea agreement and was released on November 4th, 2020, after spending nearly 3 years behind bars. Once free, he immediately began rebuilding his brand and career.
Yeah, I mean, gifted a curse, right? You're going to jail almost added to like the allure of you as an artist.
Yeah, pretty much.
Kind of like when Boozy got out, he was, you know what I'm saying? Like it just added to.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I think also the circumstances of your case.
Yeah, that too.
Were very. It felt like some bullshit.
Yeah.
So even people who necessarily weren't tapped in with your music when they found out about what was going on, they were like, "Yo, this is crazy." Like people were just rooting for you. You know what I'm saying?
There's a lot of people who wasn't. A lot of people who wasn't rooting for me.
Who wasn't rooting for you? I'm not saying to say names, but like who? Like
the older dudes. The people that have been in the game for a minute.
It sound like
T-Pain.
Yep.
That's fair.
He talking about YG though.
Yo,
but that nigga sound like T-Pain though.
What do you think?
Nigga talk just like T-Pain, but
that was really she had like a vendetta for you, right?
She was cause she did not like me at all. I don't know what it was. Maybe because I was a rapper. Cause she told me that in court. Like, I don't know if you think cause you're a rapper, like you don't gotta listen to the rules. I'm like, you could have just said this for the jump. Don't make it seem like you don't like me, bro. Like
it's almost like they're setting an example or some shit.
Pretty much, that's exactly what it was. Yeah. I mean, I still was trying. It didn't work though.
So then she got bounced, right? In the election, is that what happened?
That's the DA. Yeah, the judge.
So she got, or it was the DA.
It was the DA and the judge.
The DA and the judge.
Yeah.
But once the election happened.
Yeah, she got kicked the boot.
It almost happened like simultaneously. It was like the election happened, and then it was like, oh, he's coming home.
Yeah,
shit.
Pretty much. Yeah. All of a sudden, they had a deal. All of a sudden, you can go home right now. I'm like, after all this, like, y'all could have been let me go. All right.
Alert, radar contact. Enemy units. All hands to battle station.
On my way.
Then there was Draco's comeback. During approximately 400 days of freedom, Draco released several projects, worked with major artists, and recorded Talk to Me with Drake. Want me, girl, cause I know you want me. According to Draco, he reportedly earned $300,000 to $400,000 per month independently. He owned his masters, he controlled his publishing, he purchased expensive vehicles and jewelry and moved into a mansion in the Hollywood Hills. After years of poverty, incarceration, and court battles, Draco had officially reached a level of success he had predicted as a child. But success didn't end in attention. According to people interviewed by the journalist Jeff Wise, rumors circulated that there were a bounty on Draco's head. Draco reportedly knew that people wanted him gone. There were also still problems involving YG's circle. But then the YG scenario came up again in an interview with No Jumper, where he was asked about Draco, and this is what he had to say.
I'm not finna be going out there doing no this and shit, cause like, if it's smoke, it's really smoke with us. We ain't playing, you know? So, like, I'm gonna tell the homies the same shit, like, bro, I done told D3 that, like, we ain't doing none of that weird shit for nothing, for the rap. No, we not on none of that, nigga. We trying to make hits. We gonna move around, nigga, get rich, nigga, and have fun, nigga. All that rap beef, all that shit, we not rap beefing, we really beefing. The homies gonna get you. You know what I'm saying?
Then Draco released a diss
Oh
record aimed
man,
at
YG, why you
In the
said
song,
that,
Draco
man?
mocked YG,
Thought
questioning
the
his
homies
image and
gonna
made
get you.
references that listeners connected
So,
to the June 2015
if
shoot.
you didn't do it, YG, somebody close to you did it. If you didn't do it, you just told us.
Outside a recording studio where YG was reportedly wounded.
He's a rapper, but I made his hit rock and roll. Come on, devil, I'm walking through here with chinchillas on. They gonna drop your lick, pull it through the store if you don't stay facts. All you heard was K rounds and a payback.
And we all know that lyrics is not an automatic confession, and Draco appeared to imply that he or people connected to him knew something about the shooting. But we also know that artists frequently exaggerate, talk rivals, and claim responsibility for events they may not have personally caused. Unless law enforcement or court evidence connects Draco to YG's shooting, that part must remain an allegation and a lyrical claim. But the song did intensify an already dangerous situation. This was no longer just fast comparing two rappers. Draco was publicly disrespecting YG and appearing to reference a real shooter. He was also challenging people in neighborhoods connected to YG's side. Approximately 1 month after Draco released that diss song, he was killed. That timeline does not by itself prove that the record caused his death, but it is one of the reasons investigators, fans, and Draco's family continue examining.
Y'all double tap that screen for me, gang.
Two sides. It was December 18, 2020.
Y'all let me get it. Give me 30 likes right fast.
At Exposition Park.
Like to give some super chats up for me. What's up?
The lineup included Al Green,
We in here
Snoop
tonight.
Dogg, YG, Ice Cube, the Isley
We
Brothers,
finna get into this
Cypress
Nolan
Hill,
situation.
Draco the Ruler, and several other major artists. Draco
We
was scheduled
start.
to
We
perform
were talking about it
one of his
earlier.
first major
We're gonna
hometown shows
get back
since
into
leaving
it.
jail. He was reportedly being paid approximately $50,000. For Draco, that was supposed to be a celebration. He had survived murder charges, incarceration, and repeated attempts to stop his career. Now he was returning to perform in front of his city as an independent millionaire. But according to Jeff Wise, who was backstage and witnessed the attack,
What's
the
up,
security
King?
arrangements were questionable. One backstage entrance was
Salute
positioned
the King in
behind
that
what
bit.
Wise described as a flimsy
Salute
chain link
everybody in that
fence
bit.
guarded by one security worker. Another entrance led into the production room and artist parking area. Large portions of the parking area were reportedly poor lit. Draco had allegedly received only 2 parking passes and 15 all-access wristbands. That meant his entourage was smaller than usual. He arrived in a Rolls Royce with his younger brother, Rafley the Plug, several friends, and one licensed security guard. According to Wise, Draco and his entourage were thoroughly searched and prevented from carrying weapons into the backstage area. Draco was surrounded by enemies, but he and his licensed security guard had reportedly been disarmed by festival security. The first fight, as Draco and his group began moving towards the stage, an unidentified person reportedly shouted an insult directed at Draco and distinct team. Draco and his brother walked towards the people challenging them. Approximately 6 men wearing ski masks and red hoodies reportedly moved into the fighting position. A fist fight began. At first, it appeared to be a small confrontation.
If you seen them niggas in the hold
His
up,
brother fought beside him.
hold up. If them niggas pulled up on y'all seen them when them, and if they was came up on y'all in the red, you know what it was. You was already beefing with these red boys. If you seen them red niggas, you know. Come on, bro.
Guarded by one security worker. Another entrance led into the production room and artist parking area. Large portions of the parking area were reportedly poor lit. Draco had allegedly received only 2 parking passes and 15 all-access wristbands. That meant his entourage was smaller than usual. He arrived in a Rolls Royce with his younger brother, Bradley the Plug.
So why you ain't have everybody with you? They said you had the smaller entourage as you. It was unusual for you to have a small entourage that night. So what made you to bring a small amount of people with you, Draco? I don't know. I don't know what made you bring a small amount. They said it was unusual. It was an unusual move. Hold up, let's go back a little bit.
Perform in front of his city as an independent millionaire. But according to Jeff Wise, who was backstage and witnessed the attack, the security arrangements were questionable. One backstage entrance was positioned behind what Wise described as a flimsy chain link fence, guarded by one security worker. Another entrance led into the production room and artist parking area. Large portions of the parking area were reportedly poor lit. Draco had allegedly received only 2 parking passes and 15 all-access wristbands. That meant his entourage was smaller than usual. He arrived in a Rolls Royce with his younger brother, Bradley the Plug, several friends, and one licensed security guard. According to Wise, Draco and his entourage were thoroughly searched and prevented from carrying weapons into the backstage area.
Why they told them they couldn't have their weapons back there? Why did they tell Draco the Ruler, hey y'all, no, y'all cannot have y'all weapons backstage? Why did they tell them boys that? Was it all this was a setup? It sounded like all this was a setup for him not to have his entourage with him and have him on with no weapons. God dang, this sounds like a setup. No cap. I ain't the smartest person in the world, Craig.
Draco was surrounded by enemies, but he and his licensed security guard had reportedly been disarmed by festival security. The first fight, as Draco and his group began moving towards the stage, an unidentified person reportedly shouted an insult directed at Draco and distinct team. Draco and his brother walked towards the people challenging them. Approximately 6 men wearing ski masks and red hoodies reportedly moved into the fighting position. A fist fight began. At first, it appeared to be a small confrontation. Draco reportedly threw.
Oh yeah, you know what it was. It was the other side. Who you been beefing with the whole time? That who it was, fam. Ain't gonna take a rocket scientist.
Punches. His brother fought beside him, but despite the fight continuing for several minutes, security and police officers were allegedly nowhere to be found. Eventually, the confrontation appeared to end. Draco and his group turned and continued walking towards the stage. For a brief moment, the situation appeared to be over, but then another group had arrived. The backstage ambush. According to Wise, what began as a confrontation involving approximately 6 people suddenly became a massive ambush. Dozens of individuals wearing red clothing and ski masks reportedly ran down Draco's small group. Some witnesses estimated that the crowd included nearly 100 people. A private investigator will later review the footage for Draco's family allegedly counted 113 people surrounding 7 members of Draco's group. That group has not been proved in court, but it shows how badly outnumbered Draco's side believed they were. The stink team attempted to retreat behind a fence. Draco appeared beneath the crowd. Wise described the attack as strategic and carefully designed rather than a random fight that simply grew out of control. By his estimate, 7 to 10 minutes may have passed from the beginning of the first fight until law enforcement finally arrived. When officers and security entered the area, attackers reportedly removed. No arrests were made at the scene. Wise saw Draco land on the asphalt with blood covering his face and neck. Medical workers performed CPR in an attempt to revive him. Draco was transported to a nearby hospital. During the early morning hours of December 19th, his family was informed that he had passed away. May he rest in peace and level condolences to his family.
Crazy. Yeah, that was an ambush.
Was only 28 years old.
It was a setup and an ambush. I ain't gonna cap to you. Yeah, that was a setup and an ambush. From long stinted beef. Yeah, nigga, you already know you were going back and forth with these niggas. That was a whole setup. Somebody set him up. Somebody set that man up. I ain't gonna cap. Somebody set you up to get on the line that night. It was meant for you to be on the line. For them to unarm y'all, and you ain't have your usual security with you, all your security, man, that sounds like a setup to me. I don't care what nobody say.
Almost immediately after the killing, allegations will begin spreading online.
Yeah,
Want to become a cybersecurity
that was
engineer?
a setup.
If you're tired of your current career,
But somebody set you up to be unalive that night. I ain't gonna cap to you. I don't know who it was.
Of his new song Go Crazy and a spot on the Once Upon a Time in LA festival lineup with A-list headliners like Snoop Dogg and 50 Cent, it was looking like a good week for Daryl Caldwell, better known as LA rapper Drakeo the Ruler. But backstage on Saturday night, officials say he was stabbed in his neck while surrounded by a group and died of his injuries.
You begin to see him transform a little bit into a father, into a more responsible individual. At least that's how it seemed. And definitely someone who wanted to do the right thing. But obviously his past was not far behind him.
Word of the stabbing quickly spread throughout the packed Live Nation-produced festival, with fans trying to get away any way they could. Members of the LA Fire Department treated the injured artist, but the wounds proved fatal. The concert was cut short just before Snoop Dogg was to take the stage.
I think that these festivals and these concerts are going to have to really come to terms with the need for increased security measures, especially backstage, but also in the crowd and in the area of these artists. And if they don't do that, they're going to continue to have these types of issues.
What you got going
Many
on?
major hip-hop figures, including Drake, who did a song with Drakeo, posted
Like
their
that trash
condolences
up
on
you got.
social
I know you
media.
got that trash
The Los
over there.
Angeles Police Department and the California Highway Patrol are in charge of the investigation. That's the latest from the newsroom. I'm Lisa Evers, Fox 5 News.
One of Drakeo's friends, known as K7, went on Instagram Live and accused YG of helping arrange the attack. K7 claimed YG believed Drakeo was becoming too popular and could take his position
It
in
was
Los
some type of
Angeles.
setup.
That was K7's accusation. It has not been proven in court. Drakeo's mother also questioned why YG was allegedly allowed to bring a much larger group backstage than her son. According to accounts circulating at the time, Drakeo had only 15 all-access wristbands, while YG may have been allowed to bring dozens of people. Drakeo's mother told Rolling Stone that a large influx of individuals she was told were connected to YG surrounded her sons. She later announced plans to sue the festival and Live Nation for alleged security failures. Footage from the attack showed at least one person wearing a 400 hoodie connected to YG's clothing
Oh, yeah,
brand, but
they
wearing a
coming.
branded shirt does not establish who
Most
the person
deaf.
was, who they arrived with, or whether they were acting under somebody's instructions. Another witness claimed that a 17-car caravan entered the backstage area ahead of Drakeo's Rolls Royce. Members of Drakeo's group believed the vehicles belonged to YG's entourage. Again, that was their belief. It is not a finding established in court. YG denied having anything to do with Drakeo's death and his new music, and for more than 4 years, the allegations did not publicly result in criminal
That's what I'm
charges.
saying. But remember, they been saying it though, bro. They been saying that YG had something to do with it.
His property.
This ain't that new. This ain't new. They been saying YG had something to do with it when it first happened. They were right before the versus battle. Remember the versus battle I was telling you about? They were right before the versus battle. They questioned him right before the versus battle that night. No cap.
The facts we can establish.
There's some of that versus battle.
Arrived at
Trash.
Once Upon a Time LA Festival expecting to perform. He entered the backstage area with a small entourage. He and the people
You
with
see how the
him
gang came out with the afro?
searched and disarmed a smaller
Talking about he supposed to have got braided
a much
up.
larger group then surrounded Drakeo and his team. Drakeo was stabbed. The attackers scattered. No one was arrested at the scene, and Drakeo later died at only 28 years old. He survived poverty. He survived being shot as a teenager. He survived juvenile detention, and he survived multiple gun cases. He also survived the murder prosecution that could have placed him in prison for life. He came a long way, became a millionaire independently, and created a sound that influenced rappers throughout California. But he did not survive the backstage parking lot. No more than 4 years later, the detention of YG has put the case back into the spotlight. That does not mean YG is guilty. What it does mean is that investigators appear to be looking at something the public just don't know yet. And whether this is new development leads to changes or charges or becomes another dead end, one fact remains difficult to ignore. Somebody knows exactly what happened in that parking lot. Somebody knows who brought that crowd backstage, and somebody knows who had the weapon. Not to mention, somebody knows whether the attack was planned in advance or became deadly during the confrontation. The only question is whether the truth is finally.
Y'all smash that like button. Let's get the 30 likes, guys.
Drakeo the Ruler. Once again, and also the victim he was allegedly responsible for with his crew 6 years prior to his demise. Fam, I gotta ask y'all now that we at the conclusion. Do you believe YG being detained means investigators have obtained meaningful new evidence? Or do you believe authorities are still trying to build a case that should have been solved years ago? Get in the comment section and let me know. But keep it respectful. A detention is not an arrest, and the accusation is not a conviction. And everybody is entitled to due process. Let me know how you guys feel about this one in the comments. Don't forget to...
Man, I don't know, gang. Like, I'm gonna be honest. But them coming like that, it ain't pretty. That nigga said, you ever seen a chihuahua brother bite a what he said? You ever seen a chihuahua brother? Me neither. It ain't pretty. Straight up. Get the lights up. It ain't pretty. Boy, I hope YG ain't involved. Yeah, what it looking like he is. The way it looking, it look like it. It look like he is. It look like YG did that. Either he did it or somebody he know. Yeah, no cap. I'm be honest. The way it looking, I ain't no police or nothing, but the evidence and everything they showing and everything to us, and for them doing that, and they been saying this when Drakeo Ruler, when it first happened. Then they say they been building this for 4 years. I don't know. I'm just be honest with you. Like I'm saying, you're innocent until proven guilty in court. You're innocent until proven guilty. So he might be innocent. He might be guilty. Who knows? Who knows, gang? I ain't here to put no case on him, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? I'm just here to cover what they saying. Nah, I ain't here to put no case on it. What happened to Nolan Wells though, gang? Hold up. YG DJ. Okay. Hold on. Yeah. What happened to Nolan, man? We got part 2 from her. Niggas get rich, man. Million lawyer fee. No, that's not the plan. I'm telling you, bro. Nigga got bread, gang. Nigga, let me have that bread like them, boy. I'll be out of sight and out of mind. On an island somewhere, nobody don't know where I'm at. Chilling. I be chilling, boy. No cap. Boy, I got too much money to be acting up like that. But hey, that's on them. They do what they do. YG, hey, you just make sure you got out, like bruh said, keep all your affairs in order. Make sure you got all your affairs and everything in order. Just in case. Because they knocking like this 4 years later after that, they know something tingling with them. Ain't care. They done built something. It's something. It's something for you. But they get back into this earlier, guys. They get back into part 2. But
to be honest, sometimes I actually have no idea what's going on.
Yeah. YG, man.
Everything's there.
No, it is what it is.
They've been damn near fully investigated. They were interrogated.
Let's go, man.
But then they
Let's get back into this.
You know what I mean? Like, what all did they do?
Wanna,
We got the boat down.
hold on. First, before we get into this right here, I want to get to what Judge Matthew, he spoke on the Nolan Wells case. Yeah, he spoke on the doggone Nolan Wells case. Then we're gonna get back. I'm gonna get back into we'll get back into it. But he spoke on Nolan Wells case. Hold on, right quick. I seen that. I said, did Judge Mathis speak on it? So we had Judge Mathis even say something on the Nolan Well case. I said, nah, he don't spoke on it, not saying that something ain't right. Hold on, now the judge don't even say something ain't right. I'm just gonna be honest. He even said something's not right. Something's not right. He said something's not right. I'm just being honest with y'all, gang. The judge even said something ain't right, gang. You know Judge Mathis, that
Judge
guy.
Mathis, happy to have you back, my man. Thanks for having me back.
He gonna speak on the Nolan Well case.
Indeed, had to bring you back on, man. There's so much going on with this
Shout out
Nolan
from Philly,
Wells
shout out to
case. I'm
Philly.
still catching up with the details. So, I wanted to bring you back on and get your take on it. For the people that may not be familiar with the case, can you break it down? Yeah, certainly. Nolan, a black man, went on a boat ride to a pretty much resort island, not necessarily, just a fun island off the coast of Mississippi. And 4 of them left and went and had fun, and only 3 returned. They then found Nolan dead. His 3 friends that he had come with in the boat gone and left in the boat and claimed that Nolan stayed behind by himself. And additionally, however, and this is where the first question comes in with me, they say he left his cell phone. They have his cell phone. They had it in their possession. Okay, so if your buddy says to you, I'm leaving, you all go back. I'm staying by myself.
Mm-hmm.
No friends, just me wandering around. And then you see that he had left his cell phone. So you say, in the boat. And instead of taking it back to a friend who's on the island by himself, and by the way, did you ask him how he was getting home? So instead of
Appreciate that. Appreciate that gift,
that
JoJo.
far off, because the phone right in the boat. Say an hour or 2. If you're a real friend, you'll drive back on that recreational hour or 2 on the boat having fun to give your man his phone. Because
Then
if he's out there by himself,
you think so, sweetness?
No question about it, 90% white in the state of Mississippi.
Has
a history
Judge Mathis believes something ain't right.
Black men and
Judge Mathis doesn't
in
believe
the
something
civil
right.
rights era.
He said something ain't
Most
right.
of the civil rights killings occurred in Mississippi, including Medgar Evers, including our dear young brother from Mississippi who was killed, and several others. And so we know that Mississippi has a history of demonizing and marginalizing black men. And so the question became, what is the investigation going to be? Well, the police immediately accepted the version of the 3 young men that returned. Now, here you are, you're supposed to be the police. And I just deduced it. And I deduced it not just now, but I had deduced it immediately after seeing it in the media. And I'm not an investigator, I'm a lawyer and a judge, but an investigator, that is a police investigator / detective, has investigative techniques that would have immediately thrown into question what occurred. And common sense throws into question what occurred. And that's where we're at now. And there's some actions being taken by Ben Crump. I've spoken with him, and he's on top of it. And the family has the questions raised. Again, why would he leave his cell phone? Because it had to be voluntary. And then voluntarily stay on an island by himself without telling them why. A lot of questions there, a lot of holes in it, and that's what that grand jury is going to look into. That's the good news.
Yeah, that definitely don't make no sense. So why would he give his phone to his friend? And I heard that his mom, she had to find out by using an app that his friend had his phone after it was reported that he was missing.
Very suspicious, correct. And then there's a lot of questions. There's a lot of unanswered questions. There's allegedly an altercation that
took place, and I think they say there may be some footage of it. Some have been AI generated various things, so we don't really know what's true or not. But I think they have eyewitnesses, and that's where the investigation should go. Were there eyewitnesses that saw any type of altercation? Is there video? There's cameras everywhere. You can't do anything without being caught on camera, believe me. And so to that extent, there's some footage out there that shows this altercation, if indeed it occurred. And so the grand jury, they are impaneled when there's a reasonable suspicion that something may have occurred. So that's good news. There's a reasonable suspicion that a crime has been committed. When you go to the grand jury, the prosecutor presents all the evidence that they have to explain to the grand jury the case they're looking into, and 90% of the time, or over 90% of the time, the prosecutor comes back with an indictment because grand juries only hear one side. So they're only going to hear the side of the prosecutor. So the question becomes, is the prosecutor going to do a thorough investigation and presentation to the grand jury? Because if they miss some parts of the evidence that is necessary, then the grand jury has nothing to consider. But if, as it has been in most cases, it goes where the grand jury charge has been made, it's going to go to an indictment. And then all evidence will be seen on all sides. What I don't like about grand juries is if the defense don't get a chance to present their case to the grand jury. It's only the prosecutor. Prosecutor says, we have this, that, and the other evidence, begins talking, brings people in to interview them during the grand jury process, and then they determine whether there's probable cause to believe that a crime was committed. Probable cause means more likely than not. Reasonable suspicion means there may have been a crime, and so we have to look into it. Probable cause means we believe there was a crime, more likely than not. So that's where we're at with it.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but Nolan's mom, she said that his phone was scrubbed, right?
Yes. The mother said that some of the things on his phone had been removed. And I don't know what evidence they have of that, but she's not saying anything to jeopardize the truth in this case. And so everything she says, I'm going to take her at her word. She has no reason to trump up anything. She wants to get to the bottom of this and who killed her son. I don't believe he drowned. I believe he was killed.
Oh man.
But I'm a judge that has to weigh all the evidence preliminarily.
You see what Judge Mathis say? He feel like he was unalive. That's what Judge Mathis just said. I'm just going off of what he said. How many feel like Nolan was unalive? Let me know in the chat real quick. Get the lights up, gang. Let's get the 30 lights. Let's go.
I'm going to take her at her word. She has no reason to trump up anything. She wants to get to the bottom of this and who killed her son. I don't believe he drowned. I believe he was killed.
Oh, man.
But I'm a judge that has to weigh all the evidence preliminarily. That's what I see. You don't leave your friend on an island seeing that he has left his phone and not at least go back. You came there with him. You left him there, you say, because he wanted to stay. But you notice that he's left his phone. How was he going to get home in the first place? Wouldn't he need his phone in order to call his transportation? Or they should have known some of that. He would have said, I'm going to get home by such and such way. When they, hey man, I'm not coming. Y'all go ahead. I got a young lady. Okay, man. Is she gonna bring you home? How you gonna get home? You don't ask any of those questions? You must have asked those questions. If you didn't, there's more evidence that I believe contributed to the reasonable suspicion. So I'm with the prosecutor. How about that so far? So you won't have to say that the judge is making conclusions without getting the evidence. The prosecutor has found enough evidence to create a reasonable suspicion that a crime occurred. And now they're going to interview everybody and come up with some answers on whether to indict. So I'm there with the prosecutor so far. Take it to the grand jury. Now I have to wait till what the grand jury comes back with before I support any charge or any lack of charges.
Nah. Stand on that shit, Judge. Judge Mathis, stand on that shit. Nah, I'm talking about nah. I gotta wait till the jury. No. Stand on that shit. No matter what the jury say, you supposed to stand on it still, Judge. Shout out Judge Mathis, man. But let's go.
It doesn't make sense, and it creates a presumption when you don't have an explanation and someone ends up dead, and you hear contradictory or stories that really aren't credible because they make no sense, and you hear the same story from three people. Who knows? They may have told 2 or 3 different stories. We don't know. We will know when that grand jury comes back. So that's the case in that scenario.
Do you feel like the person who had Nolan's phone should face charges? There's a lot of people out there that feel that way.
Well, they only know he had it. But, well, did he try and keep it? And did the mother just discover? I think that's what we found. The mother discovers it. The question is, how long after did she have to chase down the phone, if you will? Was it 1 day, 2 days, 3 days? Perhaps if it happened within hours of them returning, then maybe you do give a little grace there. But if it happened a day or two, suddenly I got to chase down the phone, then yes, that's additional reason to be suspicious. It causes reasonable suspicion. And yeah, so I think those are the factors, and those are all the things that's going to come out in the investigation. How did she find out where his phone was? How long did it take her to find it out? What was the reaction once she went to retrieve the phone, or the police went to retrieve the phone? Those are the answers that have come in this further grand jury investigation.
With all the information you know, right, what do you personally think happened to him?
Well, if they say there was an argument, they say they left him there.
But his friend came out. The argument, his friend came out. I don't think Judge Mathis really, you know what I'm saying, following what's really going on. He probably know bits and pieces. But remember, his friend came out and said that wasn't Nolan arguing. His friend came out and said that wasn't Nolan arguing.
Telling them how he was getting home. They said it was, I don't know if they said it was an altercation, but others say that it was an altercation. I guess we'll wait and see if that's the case. If that was the case, the question becomes, who was the altercation with? And it could be that his buddies just punked out and fled. They may have seen a fight and left him. And now they're scared to admit they punks. That's far-reaching, but I believe there was foul play. I don't know how it have occurred, but for his phone to be left in the boat, obviously, or retrieved rather, and taken in the boat, there's something nefarious about that. So I'm not going to guess and say whether I think they've committed a crime. I'm going to say it's reasonable suspicion to believe that they've committed a crime based on the narrative and the evidence that has been presented so far.
You believe it was racial bias in the investigation?
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Because our life is less valuable to the larger community, to white folks. We devalue black men. They devalue our community in general and neglect to give the type of attention to the victimization, crime victims in our community. And this is no more different. You know, Mississippi really has a bad reputation, and this once again is reinforcing it. And I hope they get to the bottom of there's going to be another black eye. Emmett Till, Medgar Evers. Now this, Nolan Wells. I think it may have been Alabama, but the 3 civil rights college students that were killed, I think it was Mississippi. So in that case, Warner, Goodman, and Cheney, two Jews and a black man. And so I think that might have been in Mississippi. Nonetheless, it's in that same region. Yeah, one more thing. You know, most upper income black folks live in predominantly white communities because that's what upper income is, and white suburbs of America, the bordering towns or suburbs. And that's where all the rich folks are. And to that extent, rich black folks, that's where they're going to be if they want to live the highest quality of life. Those living the highest quality of life, those are the folks who have the most money. So those with the most money should live the highest quality of life. So to that extent, however, you see a very small number of black folks
What they got to
living
do
in
with
rich areas.
what they got to do with
Period,
anything?
growing up with white kids. And in the instance of my children, for example, you knew they grew up prosperous, of course. And when we left Detroit, thank God they were in the 9th and 10th grade, so they were already stable with regard to their perspective on the world. Because in L.A., La La Land, you lose perspective on what's happening on the real world. You're kind of isolated, and they have different values, and their lifestyles are different. So in my case with my sons, 90% of their friends
What's up,
were
gang?
black. Doing
Salute to
their
everybody in here.
grade 6 through
Let's get the 30 lights, gang.
when we left Detroit, 9th through 12. However, they had been strengthened and undergirded with African American history, all black schools in Detroit up into the 9th grade. So they maintained themselves and who they were. But they saw so many other black kids who attached themselves to a lifestyle that was pretty excluded anything from our culture. And when you get in that position, you think that they're accepting you. Sometimes you are the entertainment. I remember I had to tell my son, because he was the most popular kid in school, an all-white school. And he'd tell me the interactions, how they would occur. I would say, don't you let them turn you into no cowboy, where you're able to be the bad guy who everybody likes. That's what cowboys are.
Get to my
The
whoa.
bad guy, and everybody likes him, though. I said, no, don't you be that. You be the leader of that pack, and you show them, bring them over into black culture.
Judge Matthew, you just wait 1 minute, brother. You just going overboard. You supposed to been talking about Nolan, but I guess this supposed to apply to Nolan situation or something. But you just going overboard now. Y'all know how them old people be. Y'all ask somebody old something, they go overboard. I ain't saying he that old, but y'all know he up in age to where they go to just talking and talking, and when somebody asks him about something, gang, they just hear him out real quick though. Then we're gonna hop into another video. Let's go.
As opposed to being in there. They're already in black culture with our fashion and with our clothes and with our music. So that was my feelings about going to a overwhelming majority white school and overwhelming majority white friends. You got to be cautious there.
Yeah, it sounds like his friends. It wasn't really his friends, unfortunately.
Well, a lot of times that's the case. Maybe they had him once again as some form of I'm cool because I got the brother with me, or he's all right and we'll let him hang, but we ain't bringing him over for dinner. I'd like to hear that. How often he went to dinner with those children's at those children's home? How often he hung out
Y'all
with
say he
them?
teaching?
Because I've
Okay.
noticed that as well. You don't bring them to your home for the most part. You socialize. In the workplace, it's the same thing. You see White folks socializing with each other at their dinner parties, but they don't invite the black executives to their homes for dinner parties. I know this to be a fact. And secondly, the most precious day of the week is the most racist day of the week, or the most racial division, and that is Sunday, God's day. And so there's a lot of dichotomy that goes on with being embraced by white folks. And the question is that a limited embrace or is that a full embrace?
So let me ask you this, right? You being a judge with all the information you know, how would you address this?
Well, what I would do is, first of all, bring in the finest attorney I could find that loves black people. So in that sense, he's
And see, Judge Mathis, he been doing it. He been a judge a long time. So I got to think about the kind of experience he got though. Do got to think about that too. He do got a long time where he done dealt with so many cases over the years. No cap.
Gonna be compassionate about pursuing the truth because he loves black people. Let's start there. And then loves justice for black people. And knowing with the knowledge of the injustice that we have in the criminal justice system. So I want someone who's familiar with that. And I think they made the best selection, and that's my dear friend, Ben Crump. The reason being is because, once again, the commitment. And how would I assist him in the case? I guess as I'm doing now, talking to him, but the objective would be to get it in front of the grand jury, and Ben's done that. And we're going to get all the interviews and testimony and come back and see what the prosecutor does. If the prosecutor makes the indictment, as they do 90% of the time that a case goes in front of the grand jury. Let's see here. Let's see there what happens. That's what I would be looking for.
Let's see what happens. Judge Mathis, great interview, very insightful. Definitely got to bring you back on. Before we end the interview, let the people know what you got.
No, he gonna get him doggone. He gave his 411 on that how he felt about the Nolan Wells case. He gave his 411 real quick. Let's go over to that boy Skull real quick. I'll go back to what we was watching earlier on this right here. Part 2 of this right here. Hold on right quick. Put this over here. I had to put something. Hold on, gang. Let's get into part 2 on this other thing over here. Yeah, man, that's crazy, man.
More in these interviews, they try to tell us about it.
Let's get
But at
back
this
to some
point,
more of this.
Tatum is saying that the boys were interrogated, strongly by the police, by the Ocean Springs police. Is that true? We don't know, gang.
With law enforcement,
Man,
if your
like my
lawyers
gang,
and
salute
them
to
were
everybody
cooperating.
feeling y'all.
No, they would have been held until they gave answers. They would have been held until they explained the cell phone in their possession. They would have been held until their cell phones have been examined. And so whatever you would do had to...
Tatum didn't say shit about that cell phone part. It is. He's saying that, because Ben Crumpet said if these were black boys, they would have been held until the phones are dumped, until, this and that. But, yeah, they phones weren't dumped. Yeah, I mean, yeah, first he was saying, what crime? Why would the black boys be held if they didn't commit a crime? But, their phones would have been dumped for sure. And they don't say, remember, you talked to him, Tatum, so when he said that part that, their phones would have been dumped, you didn't disagree with him. Because I don't think them kids' phones have been dumped yet. Even if they questioned him and talked to him, and we don't know if it was an interrogation or not. We don't know what the questioning was that they gave the boys. We don't know how far they went with it. We don't know how long it was. We have no idea. We didn't see it. You know what I mean? Unless some body cam footage they recorded or something, we would never know. But or they put the transcripts out. But I don't think they dumped the kids' phones at all.
Roles being reversed. We want you to...
Let me jump in here. This dude is lying to people again.
You know how to run a flatbed and you're proud of it. But if the folks you're driving for aren't backing you up the way they should, maybe it's time for some...
They initially, when this happened, they all spoke to the police department. Some of them took lie detector tests, which they passed. I think only one didn't, but the rest of them did.
Okay, that don't make sense. Okay, why would one not take it? You know what I mean? But let's keep it moving. So now Officer Tatum is saying that the boys took a lie detector test. And what the fuck did y'all ask on the lie detector? I guess all you got to ask them is, do y'all know what happened in Nolan Wells? Yeah, that'd be the main question. But now Officer Tatum is saying the boys took a lie detector test. Yeah, they took a lie detector test. All the kids that was with Nolan on that one boat where his phone was left, they all took lie detector tests except for one of them. This is what Officer Tatum is claiming, gang. I'm just trying to see what he said today. I'm trying to see the latest update of what he's talking about.
And we have the story of the one that didn't for the world to see. So
Warren makes question. So Warren did not take a lot of tests.
Your ability of
okay, so Warren did not take a lot of
with
tests.
Mississippi authorities or Ocean Springs authorities or the Cajun Navy. Have you all talked to them? Do they call you after the initial autopsy? Is it just radio silence from them? Do you have to call them? Can you kind of walk us through that process?
So, the last time we actually spoke with...
I'm going to speak through some of this time.
He was a good kid, according to all the people that I talked to. And y'all turning this stuff into a circus. You turn it into a race hustling ceremony. You go out and parade this autopsy knowing that there's limitations to the autopsy because you've done it 1,000 times. But you put it out in the public to make it seem like something nefarious. From the very beginning, not one person can say that the law enforcement agency is not investigating this.
The autopsy is undetermined, gang. Undetermined on the autopsy. Undetermined.
So I think all of them but one. All the videos have been sent to the police.
I think.
They're doing an autopsy. They see they're investigating the neck. They're doing their part.
The private autopsy came out undetermined. Still waiting on the main autopsy.
That they're going to somehow do this boy wrong. You don't jump the gun and make mention of impropriety before you have any evidence of impropriety. And Nolan Wells' mother and father have not spoken to these boys or their attorneys to get the other side of this. They told me that many of them couldn't go to the funeral because they had all those death threats. With them claiming that these white boys did
think
it,
so,
you
David?
think they can go to that funeral?
Yeah, of course they didn't go to the funeral. You know what I mean? I'm sure they weren't invited. It is. Shout out to Lynn Manning. Salute to Lynn Manning. Yeah, Tatum is saying that, man, these boys are completely innocent. On top of that, they didn't get a chance to go to the funeral service. They didn't even get a chance to say goodbye to Nolan, and they're innocent. That's what Tatum is claiming. Tatum is claiming, as of right now, nobody has any physical evidence against these boys whatsoever. Nothing at all. Nothing. I mean, zero. Can't say that. You know what I mean? All you saying is that, yeah, Nolan, this and that happened to him, but he was on a beach full of people. An island full of people. People everywhere. His friends say that, Nolan did not want to get back on the boat with them. They said, come on, Nolan. He said, no, I'm staying behind. And Officer Davis said, that's all people got right now. There's no physical evidence that these boys did anything to Nolan. Smash that like button, gang. Salute to everybody in the building, man. Salute.
Oh, man. Like let's be honest. And then they're punitive against them because they didn't go. Well, I was with them on the day of the funeral. They wanted to go. They were sad that they couldn't go. But they can't because these black people can't honor a young brother without making it about race.
So he's saying the boys were sad they couldn't go to the funeral. He's saying they was all sitting around sad, man. They was, they was hurt about it. He's saying Nolan friends who are being accused right now of his murder, he's saying on the day of the funeral service, he was there with them, and they was sad as hell. They was all tore up about not being able to go. Do y'all believe what Brandon Tatum is telling y'all, gang? Because I want to hear from y'all know how we do it over here. I want to hear from everybody. Y'all want to hear from people that believe there was a murder, and I want to hear from people who believe it wasn't. Yeah, we are unbiased over. I want to hear from everybody to see, what sounds legit, what don't, what's this, what's that. We running through TikTokers and bloggers. We looking at everything being said around the world in the media right now. Smash that like button. Salute to everybody in the building, gang.
The cell phone thing, this has already been explained to the police department. But if Benjamin Crump and all these other people would talk to the family, then they'll have an explanation and quit saying, we don't know what happened.
So he's saying that Nolan Will's parents will not speak to the boys.
Well,
that's crazy.
Well,
do y'all blame the parent? Do y'all blame the parents right now?
He's saying Nolan Will's parents will not speak to the boys. How do y'all feel about that, gang? He's saying, Officer Tatum is saying that Nolan Will's parents will not speak to the boys. Ben Crump will not reach out to Ashley Cole, the judge. You know what I mean? Who people are saying, who we seen online, she reached out to Ben Crump. Shout out to Lou, man. Shout out to Sassy TV, man. Said, jump the gun. The sheriff said no foul play. That's real shit. Shout out to Sassy TV. She said, how did people jump the gun when the sheriff came out and said no foul play? Smash that like button, man. Salute to everybody in the building, man. Shout out to Lou and Sassy TV, man. Salute, gang. Salute. But they saying that, Ben Crump has not even reached out to the parents. Basically, he's saying they want to sit down and talk to the boys just like he did. Ben Crump and the parents could have easily got in contact with Ashley Cole, the mom of Warren, and they could have went over and sat down and her and all the boys. This is what Brandon Tatum is saying, gang. Smash that like button. Salute to everybody in the building, gang. Salute to my guy, Info Dread, man. Salute, gang. Salute, fam. Salute to everybody rocking with me, gang. Salute, gang. Shout out to AR1, man. Salute, gang. Let's get back into this real quick.
Gave a statement to the cops, and y'all don't go talk to him. I had to go talk to him. You believe the explanation or not, you will have an explanation. But Benjamin Crump don't want an explanation. They don't want to hear the other side because then it will challenge their theology and their grift. The boys had a very robust explanation of why his phone was on the boat. His keys were at the house with the car. And he brought up those other situations. They go, oh, well, the kids, they threw his phone into the... So you telling me that they throw the boy phone and clothes out in an attempt to cover the situation up. But you telling me
think so,
that
CTG?
these boys murdered him and didn't...
Shout out to Cowboy. Shout out to everybody in here, gang.
He's fully clothed.
Y'all hit smash that
and
like
they had
button
a cell
for me.
phone that they turned over to his mama.
Hit that sub button.
I mean, I'm just saying, put things together. If they killed the man, they throw his phone in the Gulf of America, never to be found.
Do y'all believe that? Do y'all believe that? Bro, Tatum is saying if they killed him, why would they hold on to his cell phone? Some people say they don't think they knew they had the cell phone. The other day I said, well, if you want to make it look like somebody drowned, the best thing to do is keep their phone on the boat. Who would go swimming with their phone in their pocket? That would make it make more sense. We don't know, though, right now. I mean, as of right now, the cause of death is still undetermined. You know what I mean? Far as, how he even died. But let me see. Easy Hood said they killed him, pushed him off the boat. Too much movement after the fact. That boat killed me. That boat kept going too many places. Something looked suspicious about the movement of the boat. We seen the boat data. Smash that like button. Salute to everybody in the building, y'all. Smash that like button if you rocking with me, gang.
On a 30-minute boat ride. Right. From the dock that they left on to Horn Island. If you fall off the boat out there, you gone.
Absolutely.
They'll never find you.
Well, they were talking about the riptides.
They'll never find you.
They were like, even the strongest swimmers get sucked into these riptides. How many times did someone say people drown out here all the time?
They said it happens all the time. It's several people every year drown at Horn Island.
Shout out to Princess in here.
Right.
Yes.
Shout out to everybody.
Do y'all believe that?
Why? I'm going to tell y'all this.
You're going to hear from Warren in 1 second, gang.
Troublesome to me.
We're going to hear from Warren in 1 second.
Conclusion that Nolan was murdered. They don't want the truth. They want somebody arrested for murder. They're not accepting the fact that he could have just drowned.
Right.
He out there getting drunk. They drinking. He could have went off the edge, went underwater, passed out, drowned, died. Nobody saw him. There's so many boats and stuff out there. He passed out. I don't know about that, Tatum. He went underwater and just passed out. I don't know about that, bro. You gotta come with something better than that, man. You gotta come with something better than that, gang. Let's hear it from, because I haven't watched this yet at all, gang. I haven't watched this yet at all. Let's hear some more from Warren, man. This time we out here on Horn Island, man. Let me light this gas up, man. Tatum went to Mississippi, man, the day of the funeral service. He was out there, and he talked to Warren, man, the judge's son. And let's go to Horn Island. This is Horn Island right here, gang. This is Warren and Officer Tatum for part 2. We watched part 1 yesterday, gang. Part 2 is right here on Horn Island. They there. Let's see what's going. Let's see what Warren had to say, man, because Tatum don't believe this, man. Tatum is saying that people are accusing these boys of something and they have no physical evidence. These boys love Warren. He said, hell, they went to Warren, kicked it with them on a boat last 4th of July, man. They've been doing shit like this. They've been riding the boats. He said, well, all of a sudden they just killed him out of nowhere. He said, it doesn't make no sense. What do y'all believe, gang? Because we see the autopsy came out and that just raised more flags, to be honest, gang, especially with the state of Mississippi. You know what I mean? I know that shit raised more red flags for everybody just about. Let's hear from Warren, gang. Smash that like button. Let's see what Warren got to say, man. This is part 2, gang. Smash that like button.
I'm sitting waist deep in water, and all my friends are. Everybody's leaving their phone on the boat. I open the back hatch, and there's water up to the batteries. And
I've been a trainer for 13 years, and I train about 13 to 15.
And that is obviously not good. Nolan decided to stay on the island with the girl that he was with. And the girl is a witness to that, too.
Yeah.
He's saying, you hear that? Yo, you heard that? He's saying, he's saying if Katie came out and said that Warren said no, he was going to get back on the boat with his friend, he's saying Katie is a motherfucking liar. Yeah, Warren is saying Katie is a liar, fam. Smash that like button, man. Everybody, this is the investigation. A lot of people feel like the murder investigation into Nolan Wells after this autopsy report. Well, this is Warren, y'all, the judge's son, one of the boys last with Nolan who showed up to the island with Nolan, I want to say. And he's saying that Nolan said, nah, I'm not getting back on the boat. I'm staying here with Katie. You know what I mean? So they still sticking to that, man. They saying Nolan said he was staying behind with Katie. Shout out to Casey, dog. Why the boys talking to you publicly now? But the parents of your friend, when it first happened, of course, they don't want to talk to you now. Smash that like button. Salute to everybody, better man. Shout out to KC, dog. Let's get into this, man. Let's see what Warren is talking about. Because Warren just called Katie a goddamn liar. Smash that like button, gang. Yeah, Warren just said Katie is lying if she's saying that he wasn't with her last. Man, smash that like button, gang. What do you believe in at this point, gang? What do y'all believe?
Stay on the island with the girl that he was with. And the girl is a witness to that, too.
Yeah. We're in Mississippi right now. We're getting ready to recount the exact path that the boys took, also with Nolan Wells, from where they docked the boat at all the way out to Horn Island and back. The boys are going to explain to me exactly what went on, how many people were there, how many boats were taken out, which I think the world is going to be completely dumbfounded when they realize what the truth really is, because the lies have been pervasive. So we're right here where Nolan left on the boat, and you'll find out how many people were there, how many boats, and then we're going to take that same path out. I'm going to go look at Horn Island and see exactly where they could have been to get a perspective that the media...
So he's there in Mississippi, gang. He's there to talk to the boys. He's there. He's in the building. He's saying he's finna prove everything, man. Not on this one episode, I'm guessing, but he's saying that over time, he's finna show y'all, he's finna show the world that these young men are innocent. They had nothing but love for Nolan, and they did not have anything to do with his death.
You don't even care to try to do. And then we're going to take the trek back, and we're going to find out exactly what happened to Nolan. This is the reason why I'm here, man. I want you guys to have a voice. I want you guys to be able to speak out and show what the truth really is, and then let the world decide. I just don't want you guys to end up in a situation where your story never gets heard. Right here is where Nolan and probably 20 other kids got on the boat. So it's not just Nolan and 3 other kids. That was a lie. That was a myth. I'm going to prove that. Right here is where the kids were docking, and we're going to show you a video that coincided. I'm going to walk at the exact angle that the video is being broadcast from, so you know that I'm exactly where I say I am. But the boys were here. Tons of people you'll see on the video is getting onto the boat, and they took 3 boats out. It wasn't just one. It wasn't just Nolan and 4
Nolan right there.
There was a multitude of people on several different boats, and some of the boys that they're accusing weren't even on the boat that Nolan was on.
Right there. No,
Let me show you from the vantage point where I have the video.
I'm trying to see was that Nolan in the video.
It was a multitude of people on several different and 4 boys. It was took 3 boats out. It wasn't just one. It wasn't just Nolan.
I'm not for sure.
And 4 boys. It was a multitude of people on several different boats. And some of the boys that they're accusing wasn't even on the boat that Nolan was on.
I think that is.
Show you from the vantage point where I have the video to prove that I'm here where I say I am. And so right now, here's the angle that you're going to see on the footage. It's just from probably that boat to, maybe about 30, 40 feet here to the right. And this is where the video is showing how many people were actually out there, actually getting on the boats. So therefore, it debunks very clearly
Nolan, and we can see Nolan.
that it was only Nolan and 4 boys.
We don't see Nolan in the video. I don't know if that's Nolan or not. And now I see another white boy with blue trunks, so maybe that was him. Tatum went up there and kicked the kid. Tatum went up there and kicked me.
All on the boat and shit, speedboat, chilling.
Sorry about the sunglasses.
Give me 1 second, gang. Smash that like button, gang.
Look all on the speedboat, chilling.
Salute to everybody in the building, man. Y'all, we didn't see Nolan Wells in that video, though, right? We got to see Nolan to know that that's that day right there. I need to see Nolan in that video. How y'all feel about that? He just showed us some video footage of the kids getting on the boat that day, and he showed us that he was there and shit, but none of that meant shit if we didn't see Nolan on the video. How do we know? How do we know that? We don't. Yeah, how do we know that Nolan was there at that place on that day? Not that really matters, him getting on the boat, I guess, in the beginning. But I guess he's trying to show us that there was a lot of kids there, not just Nolan. He's trying to show y'all there was a lot of kids there. It wasn't just Nolan and 3 people get on the boat ride on Horn Island. It was like, damn it, 20 kids all going to Horn Island. They all showed up together on 3 different boats, he said. Smash that like button. Salute to everybody in the video. This is your boy, Officer Tatum, y'all. He's at Horn Island with the boys.
Right out here, and I never wear sunglasses, but we're at Horn Island, and almost the exact same position where the boys were, where Nolan was. So if you look out right here, just so you guys can get a perspective, you have the Horn Island here, but I want you guys to put this in your mind what this was like on that day. You have boats 2, 3, 4 deep from way down there where you can see all the way through here.
No longer able to work due to a condition and considering applying for Social Security disability benefits?
You have thousands of people on this island, probably 2,000 people. So this wasn't some abandoned, secluded island where nobody's at. Obviously, this is a Monday, and there's a few people on the backside of the island, not a lot of people here. But on 4th of July, this is a celebration. And so this wasn't a small place where 4 boys took their black friend and dropped him off and never seen him again. This place was flooded with people. Tons of people, multiple boats, multiple friend groups. I mean, everybody's here having a good time.
Hold on. I missed a little bit. I missed a little bit. Run it back a little bit. I missed a little bit.
Almost the exact same position where the boys were, where Nolan was, So if you look out right here,
gang, smash that like button. Salute to everybody but y'all.
You have the Horn Island here.
This is Officer Tatum, y'all, on Horn Island, trying to prove the boys' innocence. He's saying these boys are innocent. They have nothing to do with Nolan Wells' death. And on top of that, Nolan Wells was not just with them. He was with them and maybe 15 more people. 20 more goddamn people. Smash that like button. Salute to everybody in the building, gang.
But I want you guys to put this in your mind, what this was like on that day. You have boats 2, 3, 4 deep from way down there where you can see all the way through here. You have thousands of people on this island, probably 2,000 people. So this wasn't some abandoned, secluded island where nobody's at. Obviously, this is a Monday, and there's a few people on the backside of the island, not a lot of people here. But on 4th of July, this is a celebration. And so this wasn't a small place where 4 boys took their black friend and dropped him off and never seen him again. This place was flooded with people. Tons of people, multiple boats, multiple friend groups. I mean, everybody's here having a good time. And then the boat gets towed out because it was getting ready to sink. And so, and for what I was told, they told Nolan, get on the boat, man. Get on the boat. Get on the freaking boat. And he decided, because he's an adult, that he was going to stay behind. And all the boys that they've been accusing, and they saying it had something to do with his death, they were all gone at 4:30. They were all gone.
So he said they showed up with 3 boatloads of people, gang, and by 4:30 they all were gone. They came together, they left together. They had 3 different boats. They was telling Nolan, come on, bro. I guess it didn't matter which boat he jumped on. Come on, fam. We all get ready to leave. They said Nolan, who he says is a grown man, chose to stay behind. So like I said, we just want to know who the hell was Nolan going to ride back with. That's very important. Because if Nolan said he was going to stay behind, then it got to be somebody who knew, oh, yeah, he going to ride back with us. Can that person please stand up? Yeah. Can that motherfucker please stand up? Whoever Nolan Wells is going to ride back with. Because if it's 3 boatloads of friends, and you tell all that, no, y'all all go back. All y'all, man. Everybody go back. I'm good, fam. You damn sure going to tell them who you're riding with, or you done already told your ride. Why isn't that person standing up saying, nah, bro, Nolan did choose to stay behind. He was supposed to get on my boat. Yeah, where is that person at, gang? Who gonna stand up and say Nolan was getting on my boat? He was coming back with us. I know damn well Nolan Wells ain't sit 3 boats away to not check in with somebody else and say, hey, is it okay if I ride back with y'all? I'm gonna jump in with y'all. And he don't got his cell phone either. Without your phone, your people gone. You damn sure wanna go. You know what I mean? Go let somebody know if you stay behind. So where is the person who Nolan was supposed to ride back with? Who is this person? Does this person exist? Smash that like button. Salute to everybody in the building, gang. Smash that like button, man. Smash that like button, gang.
On the boat. Get on the freaking boat. And he decided, because he's an adult, that he was going to stay behind. And all the boys that they've been accusing, and they saying it had something to do with his death,
Adriana,
they were all gone at 4:30. They were all gone. And they told Nolan to get on the boat.
Adrian's scared, my bad.
And then there was a report of somebody seeing Nolan around 6:30-ish. And so for them to come out and claim these lies, won't take the time to come to Horn Island, won't take the trip out here to figure out what happened, won't talk to anybody, pushing an agenda is wrong. And that's the reason why I came out here. I wanted to see for myself, what did this look like? What could have happened? You know, does the stories line up based on what I've seen and what I've heard from people that live here that were involved in this situation? This is where the lies started. People were putting out on social media, knowing that they're lying, that this is what it was like on a day that Nolan and his friends came out here to Horn Island. And if it was 4 or 5 people and they came out here and Nolan was with them, and maybe it was a few people out here like it is today, and Nolan came up missing, then maybe it would be suspicious. But they didn't take the time to give context to the people because they're evil and they're liars. So if it was like that right now, when the situation happened, I can see how people had a concern. But you got to replay this moment with thousands of people here. If anything would have happened directly involving Nolan and his friends, you can't tell me that thousands of people wouldn't have seen anything happen.
What if I told you that the moment your book is published, there could be a giant billboard featuring you and your book in Times Square?
And so that's pretty much why I wanted to come here and show you guys. This is what they want you to believe it was like on that day, which is a lie. They want you to believe they came to a secluded island, just 4 of them, and then Nolan is left behind. And then
nobody ever said that, bro. This nigga's tripping, bro. No, now I think maybe people might have thought that maybe it was just 4 of them, and you're saying now there was 20 of them, or the boy Warren is saying that, but nobody thought they was on a fucking secluded island. We all understood that it was boats out there. It was 4th of July. It was a goddamn party in the water. We get that. What is this nigga talking about, bro? What the fuck is this nigga talking about, bro? Like, some things I see what you're saying. I'm okay. If that's how you look at it, okay, cool. But what is he talking about? We never thought he was on a secluded island with just him and 4 boys by themselves. If we would have thought that Nolan was on that island with just him and 4 boys, but him and 3 other boys by themselves on a big ass island, we would have thought that shit. Gay. Nobody ever said that. So I don't know. I'm trying to understand where Tatum is getting that from. Nobody thought that this was the look right here. You showing us this to show us what, nigga? Nobody thought this, Tatum. We knew it was 4th of July. We knew the party going on, bro. We understood that.
Bodies washed up on shore, and nobody knows what happened. Nobody could have seen what happened but the boys. It's a flat out lie. Is there anything that you want to say, you want people to know about this whole experience?
Here's Warren. Yeah, I mean,
here's Warren.
From someone's not from here, it's kind of hard to understand, where the island drops off and how the island works. But, there's plenty of people out here, especially on the 4th of July. This is where people come out to celebrate. And, I mean, if you fill the water, you can see right here, Brandon, where it drops off. I mean, you can see literally where it drops off. So, I mean, it goes from about waist-deep water right there to neck-deep. And then it drops from neck-deep all the way to, like, 17, 20 foot. I mean, we weren't even a quarter mile off the island and when we were leaving. And, I mean, it was 30 foot of water. Yeah. But, I mean, we're walking towards the east right now. But if you walk down to the west, that's where the west tip of the island is. And that's where the current picks up very, very bad.
People talk about the phone situation. I wanted to, because the way you articulate it, I just walked in the water with my pants. I mean, they're wet. And you can tell right away that if you're hanging out in the water, it doesn't appear, in my opinion, that you would have your phone on you. Is that typical for people to have their phones, or?
No, I mean, people come out here.
Hey, look, let's not get lost, gang. They said the last time they seen him was at 3 o'clock. They didn't leave. The 3 boats didn't depart from Horn Island till what? Till 4:30. So everybody want to know, how did he leave his phone on the boat for a whole hour and a half if he was riding with somebody else? Do y'all think that it's true what Nolan Wells' friend of the summer, he was drunk than a bitch? Do y'all think maybe Nolan Wells was so drunk that he just forgot where the fuck he left his phone at? Or do y'all think that's some bullshit? Yeah. We get it, gang. We get it. We understand this. His themes, they got to make sense, man. Officer Tatum is not asking the right questions. If y'all last seen him at 3 o'clock and y'all didn't leave at 4:30, you mean to tell me that whole time he never came to get his phone? He never asked anybody, but he never came back to the boat within an hour and a half. Y'all never seen him again. Nobody on that island seen him again. You mean to tell me not one person? That's why we got to hear from the Mississippi or the Ocean Springs or the Horn Island. We got to hear from the police, man. We need to hear from y'all. We need press conferences and shit. Did anybody see Nolan Wells after 3 o'clock? He's great. Okay, but this is Warren. This is the son of the judge. He's going to explain the whole phone situation.
Talk about the phone situation. I want to, because the way you articulate it, I just walked in the water with my pants. I mean, they're wet. And you can tell right away that if you're hanging out in the water, it doesn't appear, in my opinion, that you would have your phone on you. Is that typical for people to have their phones, or?
No, I mean, people come out here, especially on the 4th and, Memorial Day, days like that, they come out here to celebrate, and people get on the water to be off their phones, first off. Second off, if I'm sitting waist deep in water, and all my friends are, everybody's leaving their phone on a boat, in a lake, if you're sitting on a pond, if no one's getting out of the water with their phone in their hand, unless, it's to take a quick picture. But most of the pictures taken on the 4th of July were on the boat. Yeah. I mean, and, salt water, if you drop your phone in salt water, most of the time you're not going to get it back. Yeah. I mean, especially if the water's murky right now because there's been a lot of rain. You can't see, the visibility isn't good. The water isn't clear like it was last year around this time. And, no one has their phone, though, usually. I mean, unless you're crazy, I'm not walking around with my phone in my hand. They've been walking around Horn Island,
How many people left the phone on the boat? Was it just his phone when y'all left, or
I mean,
other people have phones
absolutely
on the boat?
Not. Like, there was at least I rode out here on a different boat, like I told you, and I grabbed my boat. I grabbed my phone when I left the Palm Beach to get on the boat with Triton. To get on the boat with White because we were having, boat issues. And when I got on the boat, there was phones everywhere on the console. Everywhere. There was everybody's phone that was sitting around the boat was on the console. Like, we had phones that we didn't even know whose they were, and people just leave their phone, especially when people are drinking and, they're not in the right state of mind. A lot of people are like, oh, I'll just leave my phone and I'll get it later, and that's the way it is around here. You don't take your phone and walk around the island. There's plenty of phones on the boat. With Triton. To get on the boat with White, because we're walking around with my phone in my hand and then walking around.
Tell me, who is the judge's son, Wyatt or Warren? Is the judge's son Wyatt or Warren? It's Wyatt, I'm thinking, right? I think I've been saying it was Warren the whole time. Who is the judge's son, y'all? One more time for the game. It's so, I mean, any little white boy's name, just them two. Who is the judge's son, Wyatt? Talk to me in the chat, gang. So Warren is the judge's son.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
What? Some of y'all saying Wyatt, some of y'all saying Warren. Okay, Toy's saying Warren. Okay, I can't believe his mom. I can't believe his mom let him do this. This interview. Only because his mom is the stepmom of the judge. That's the only reason I'm saying that. I know it's not his real mom, but listen to his story about Raven. What are you trying to tell me in the chat? You say he slipped up and said what? Listen to him closely, man. Does Warren slip up while describing the phone and the boat situation? Break it down. Salute to everybody building gang.
Water with their phone in their hand, unless and people get on the water to be off their phones. First off, second off, if I'm sitting waist deep in water and all my friends are, everybody's leaving their phone on a boat, in a lake. If you're sitting on a pond, if no one's getting out of the water with their phone in their hand, unless it's to take a quick picture. But most of the pictures taken on the 4th of July were on the boat. Yeah. Salt water, if you drop your phone in salt water, most of the time you're not going to get it back. Yeah. Especially the water's murky right now because there's been a lot of rain. You can't see the visibility. The water isn't clear like it was last year around this time. And, no one has their phone, though, usually. Unless you're crazy, I'm not walking around with my phone in my hand and then walking around Horn Island,
How many people left the phone on the boat? Was it just his phone when y'all left, or
right?
Other people have phones?
Absolutely not. Like, there was at least, I rode out here on a different boat, like I told you, and I grabbed my boat. I grabbed my phone when I left the Palm Beach to get on the boat with Triton. To get on the boat with White because we were having, boat issues. And when I got on the boat, there was phones everywhere on the console. Everywhere. There was, and everybody's phone that was sitting around the boat was on the console.
He said he grabbed his phone. It's not he said he grabbed his own phone. He said, I think he
on the boat with Triton.
Yeah.
To get on the boat with White.
He
just be reaching.
There was at least,
that means everybody had done set their phones down there, cause everybody gonna be in the water. If everybody had their phones in one place, that means everybody was in the water chilling.
To get on the boat with White because we were having, boat issues. And when I got on the boat, there was phones everywhere on the console. Everywhere. There was, and everybody's phone that was sitting around the boat was on the console. We had phones that we didn't even know whose they were, and people just leave their phone, especially when people are drinking and, they're not in the right state of mind. A lot of people are like, oh, I'll just leave my phone and I'll get it later, and that's the way it is around here. You don't take your phone and walk around the island. There's plenty of phones on the boat and, spread out between the 3 boats that we had. And we had 20 plus people on the spread between our 3 boats. So of course, everybody's phone was on the boat. I never saw someone in the water that day sitting with their phone in their hand, scrolling on anything or even taking pictures in the water. Yeah, someone might hop out the boat. A lot of girls like to take pictures, in the water. And so do guys, but, girls want to take pictures in the water. Half a second, you might hop out the boat and be like, oh, I'm snapping this picture of myself or of someone else. But as soon as I get back in the boat, I'm putting my phone up and I'm getting back in the water and I'm hanging out with my friends.
Yeah, that's just common sense, man. And describe to me what the day was like. I saw a video online How hectic was it out here? I mean, right now it's barren. There's not a lot of people out here,
right.
But clearly that's not what it was on the 4th of July. So,
right.
Like, how dense was it with people here?
Well, I mean, you look at all the videos, that are spread out online, and a lot of them, you can't believe what you see all the time online. You know that better than anybody. But, I mean, there was boats lined up all the way down the island. And there was rows. There was the first row, there's the second row. We were in the third row where it drops off. And then there was even boats in front of us. And this went all the way down towards the east end of the island. And then there was people on the east tip. And we're on the north side now, but there was people on the south side too, lined up all the way down. And if you talk to anybody on the coast about this, they know that. Yeah. I mean, 4th of July, this is the hot spot. This is where people want to be. This is where people want to come out, hang out with their family and friends. And
people say that you guys just left Nolan behind. I've seen reports of people saying that you just left him. I see reports of people saying that you asked him to get on the boat, told him to get on the boat, he didn't. What's the truth in that?
Well, Wyatt was having boat issues, and the bilge wouldn't pump. So the bilge is basically a pump that releases water from your boat when water comes in. So I opened the back hatch, and there's water up to the batteries. And that is obviously not good. There's water almost coming over the transom, which is where your motors sit, and which is by the stern, like in the back part of the boat. So obviously we were in emergency. The boat, we're trying to save the boat. It's not like we didn't ask Nolan or we just left Nolan. Nolan decided to stay on the island with the girl that he was with, and the girl's a witness to that too.
Yeah. I'm glad you cleared that up, because I think it's important for people to have the context of like what it was on that day, what happened, what didn't happen, why
the bilge wouldn't pump. So the bilge is basically.
Hey, my name is Jerry Norton, and in the next 30 seconds, I'm going to show you how to make $5,000 to $20,000 flipping houses using this contract that I will give you absolutely.
A pump that releases water from your.
So what's he on the boat? Just left Nolan behind. I've seen reports of people saying that you just left him. I see reports of people saying that you asked him to get on the boat. Told him to get on the boat, he didn't. What's the truth in that?
Well, Wyatt was having boat issues, and the bilge wouldn't pump. So the bilge is basically.
Okay, so Wyatt was having boat issues
that releases water from your.
I don't think it's the boat he's riding. I think it's Wyatt's boat that's having pump issues. Smash that light button, gang.
When water comes in. So I opened the back hatch, and there's water up to the batteries. And that is obviously not good. There's water almost coming over the transom, which is where your motors sit, and which is by the stern, like in the back part of the boat. So obviously we were in emergency. The boat.
Guys, butterfly.
We were trying to save the boat. It's not like we didn't ask Nolan or we just left Nolan. Nolan decided to stay on the island with the girl that he was with, and the girl's a witness to that too.
Yeah. I'm glad you cleared that up, because
he's saying the girl he was with. He's saying the girl he was with, man. He said this white boy apparently knows this island and probably better than Nolan. He in plain sight. Shout out to T Dodge, man. Shout out to my guy T Dodge, man.
Double tap that screen from the guy. Yeah, 26 light. They get it 30 light.
He's saying Katie is the witness. Like, he basically just said, look, man, he wanted to stay behind. Let's just say the terms we understand, gang. Yeah, I know we understand all terms. Let's break it down. Let me say how
part two. This is part two.
Nolan wanted to stay behind that little freak bitch Katie, man. And he was fucking with Katie, and she a witness. I don't know why Katie acting like a money Maya, bitch. You witness. You know what's going on. He just put it all on Katie, like, man, look, last time we seen him, y'all asking us and shit like that. It's about us. But the last time I seen Nolan, he was with Katie. Why are y'all sweating us? Go check the bitch, man. Like, yeah, come on, man. What are y'all doing? It was like, that's what it sound like. It sound like Warren just threw everything on Katie, like, but she know for a fact what I'm talking about. She know.
So, obviously, we were in emergency. The boat.
What it sound like he's saying.
We're trying to save the boat. It's not like we didn't ask Nolan or we just left.
You put it all on Katie,
Nolan
man.
Decided to stay on the island with the girl that he was with, and the girl's a witness to that too.
Yeah. I'm glad you cleared that up, because I think it's important for people to have the context of like what it was on that day, what happened, what didn't happen, and the the beauty of all of this is that you guys have evidence, right, to prove that. Of course, you asked Nolan to come on and different things like that. So, but anyway, man, I appreciate you.
Where's that evidence?
You know, give me a rundown of.
Where's the evidence that they told Nolan to come? I want to see that they can show us. Yeah, we had a bunch of talking. You know what I mean? And Susan Tatum going out there doing his thing, getting an interview, whatever, going out there. But yeah, show us this. He's talking about evidence that y'all told Nolan to come on. I mean, you got a video or something. Yeah, that got to be the only way you can prove that shit is in a video. So shit, drop the video, Tatum. I mean, put it on your YouTube channel. He said, I have proof that I will show y'all that they told Nolan to come with them. Come on, we leaving. Come on, bro. How else could he prove that unless he had a video of the shit happening? Unless he got a video at Horn Island and get on the boat leaving. Smash that like button. Salute to everybody in the building, gang. Do y'all believe Warren, gang? Warren took Tatum to Horn Island. He said, they was out there with Nolan. He said we was all drinking. Nobody had their phone in the water. You know what I mean? Nolan was, I guess he said Nolan was in the water, of course. Nolan must have been swimming around in the water. Because for him to say Nolan didn't have his phone, that means, everybody kind of threw their phones in the boat and went on about their business. But he said if you wasn't in the boat, you would probably have your phone in your hand. You know what I mean? Taking photos, doing something. Nolan's mom said he was always on Snapchat. She also said Snapchat was fully deleted. But, you know what I mean? So I guess he's saying that Nolan was in the water most of the time. Nolan was chit-chatting, everybody in the water, everybody jumping from boat to boat. But Nolan left his phone in the boat, and they said, are you coming? And Nolan said, nah, I'm not coming, man. I'm staying here. He was with Katie. He said he was hanging out with Katie. They dip off. And we're just going over Warren's story, gang, because this is his story now. We've been asking for the longest, what did Warren say? For the longest, we've been asking ourselves, what did Warren say? Or what did Wyatt, like, what's the boy's story? So now we can see that Warren is fully putting his thing on Katie when it comes to who was last with Nolan as far as he knows. Yeah, as far as he knows. He's saying that Nolan did not get on the boat. He wanted to stay behind. He had been drinking. He wanted to stay there with Katie. He says even Katie's a witness to this. She knows this. Smash that like button. Salute to everybody in the game. What do y'all believe, man? Do y'all believe Warren? Do this kid got a reason to lie? Do y'all think he killed him? Do y'all think Warren knows who did if he didn't? Do y'all think Warren is a murderer? Or one of his friends even? He's trying to cover something up.
Excuse me, sir. How old were you when you made your first million?
What is this for?
We're trying to get advice for the younger...
Talk to me, gang.
What it was like on that day.
Right.
And hopefully people can understand what the truth is,
right,
and make their own decision on facts.
Right. I mean, based off, people... There's not a lot of people that are from the Mississippi Gulf Coast that don't understand Horn Island and don't understand the way boating works. And, boating is a tight-knit community. I like to fish a lot, and, there's, everybody, a lot of people know a lot of people. Everybody knows everybody. I know a lot of fishermen on the Gulf Coast. They know me and my buddies because we like to go in the water all the time. I mean, that's what we do in the summer. And, a lot of people from the Gulf Coast know the truth behind, you don't take your boat out the boat. The little facts. It's a difficult subject. This Horn Island's like 11 miles long. Not to be exact, but around 11 miles long. It's not like this is a sliver of an island. It's a quarter mile. It's like a sandbar. No, this goes on. Even if we came around this corner right here, Brandon, we couldn't even see the end of the island.
Oh, really?
It's that long.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
I thought that was the end right there.
No. I mean, it goes all the way down there, and I mean, it's a big island. There's a lot of people out here, and I mean, that's the truth. That's the way it was.
All right. I
thought that was the end.
All right. You know what I mean? There goes Warren, man. How y'all feel, man? Do y'all think the kid got a reason to lie, man? Does he come off like a liar? Does he come off like somebody with something to hide? I mean, if he's lying, he's doing a good job of it, man. He don't seem to be nervous at all. He don't seem to be stuttering about anything or not for sure of things. He's telling the story like that. Some of y'all are saying, Sko, his mom and stepmom is a goddamn judge, man. He's been coached. This has been rehearsed. Stop it, fam. Come on, Sko. Come on, Sko. Come on, bro. They done had 2 weeks to think about this shit, man. Today, what, the 23rd, the 20th? This interview was done with probably on the 20th, the 21st. Bro, they done had about 2 weeks and some change to think about everything they need to say, man. Let me hear from my guy, King Mike. Let me hear from King Mike right now. King Mike said basically what he's saying is people are talking about a culture they have no idea about. Okay, he's talking about as far as the boating life. He's saying as far as how, boaters do things. He's saying y'all niggas don't know about boats. You niggas in this shit ain't got no motherfucking boat. You niggas let me get in the water like that for real, for real. Stop the bullshit. King Mike said none of you niggas in here got a boat. You niggas don't go boating. Put a 1 in the chat if you get a boat, man. Smash that like button, gang. Drop a 1 in my chat right now if you get a boat, man. I'm not saying that, the King Mike saying nobody don't got boats in here. I'm just saying, if you know something about boating and you go out boating, drop a 1 in the chat if you get a boat. Be honest with me too, gang. If you got a boat, drop a 1 in the chat if you have a boat. Drop a 1 in the chat if you get a boat, man. Put Rod Davis in timeout, man. Get Rod Davis over the timeout real quick, y'all. Get 1 of 88 to timeout, nigga. You ain't got no boat. Smash that like button, gang. Salute to you. Don't start lying to me now, gang. Yeah, get Rod Davis over the timeout, nigga. You don't own a boat. Smash that like button, man. My dad has a boat. Okay, shout out to True Burger. Okay. Shout out to everybody that knows something about boating. Y'all go out, y'all take boats with you and shit. Big ass. I got 2 jet skis.